And I will just kill off this timer because that's no longer. So, welcome to the game, everybody. Thank you for either tuning in or joining me to play. We'll be playing Pandora's Wake Apocalypse Age. The game system we'll be using is Modern Age by Green Ronin Publishing. The setting is Pandora's Wake by Gethsemane Games. I'm your Games Master. I'm Bryan F. Irving of Gethsemane Games and DH9 Radio. The game is about to start in just a few moments. I'll just talk you through 1 or 2 points before we begin. The music you'll be hearing is by Kevin MacLeod in Compotech.com and by the DH9 Radio production unit. Any sound effects you'll hear this afternoon are by DH9 Radio's Foley unit, by Bards, or by the freesound.org. As I mentioned, I'm your Games Master, and the cast are Mark Savall as Rab, Chris Gibson as Adam Taylor, Jenny Savall as Erin Black, Ben Watson as Joe Watson, Sean McGuile as Thomas Gallagher, Marie McGowan Irving as Elizabeth Lizzie Ryan. The game begins on the day of the outbreak of the apocalypse, the very day of the Pandora Event. It begins in Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England with a small group of relative strangers, although if the players check, they'll notice that they all, or almost all, know at least one of the other characters. On the underground rail network in Newcastle, which for those of you who don't know is the Metro. You begin in a Metro car. Now, does anybody have any questions before the game begins? No. Excellent.
No.
Then let us begin.
What state of sobriety is my character in?
That's a very good point, actually. Everybody is going to have to make a roll to see what their state of sobriety is in just a moment's time. Because the reason you're on the Metro is you've all been out and about round Newcastle. It's late at night. So far, the disaster that is about to befall you is as yet unknown. So I'm just going to read the intro, and when I get to the end of it, we'll see how drunk you all are. No one could have predicted the end of the world as we knew it. It began suddenly, on a perfectly ordinary day. What caused it is a matter for conjecture. For few, if any, know. Some claim it was the experiment at the super colliders that somehow ripped a hole in our universe. Some claim that it was the biblical end of days as foretold in the book of Revelations. Some believe still that the other verse burst its way through to our world of its own volition, that some malign consciousness ripped the holes in the universe from the other side. Whatever it was, the Pandora Event... whatever actually caused the Pandora Event, life on Earth would change irrevocably for everyone. Or at least for those who survived. This is the story of a small band of those survivors thrown together by the capricious hand of fate as they rode the late-night metro train as it wound its way beneath the streets of Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Okay, I'm going to read out everybody's names and you're going to give me a stamina constitution check. That's to find out exactly how drunk you all are. There are a couple of exceptions. There are some characters who have been doing other things. So, let us begin. Chris, could I have a stamina constitution stamina constitution test for Adam Taylor,
I'm not going to say... No, I'm not going to say my character's drunk. I'm going to say it's going to be a roll for tiredness, but with the same, obviously, requirements.
Okay, yes. That's fine too. Okay, so you're a little bit weary, but not enough that it's going to actually affect you in any way during the first section of the game. So you're actually doing okay at the moment. Ben, your character isn't drunk at all. You haven't been drinking. You may be pretending that you were, but we all know exactly what your character's been up to. You've been casing that.
I'm kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, that's
I was
fine.
going to say, I'm kind of thinking. My car got it got locked down. I forgot what it's called. Clamped.
Impounded.
Got
Yes.
clamped, right?
Mhm.
So maybe I'm like a bit stressed, so I've had a little bit of the whiskey to calm my nerves because
Okay.
I'm like thinking that might be onto me.
Okay, after you'd finished your casing of the bank that you're intending to rob, you notice that your car has been clamped. You're worried that this means they might be onto you. You did have a few drinks to steady your nerve. Go ahead and give me that Constitution stamina test to find out if you have
Should have
been...
kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Okay, Joe is a little bit on the tipsy side. Joe, you'll be at -1 on all skill rolls until something happens that would snap you out of your drunkenness. So if you fail a willpower horror test or willpower fear test at any point, you will automatically sober up because the fright will do it for you. Okay, next on the block is Erin Black, the rescue pilot for the Coast Guard. Erin's actually been out on the town tonight, so go ahead and give me a roll to see how drunk she may or may not be when she's riding the last metro home. That's Constitution
Okay.
stamina, please. Oh dear. Much like Joe,
Not good.
much like Joe, who you actually met in the bar earlier, you're a little bit on the tipsy side. Still, on the bright side, he was buying most of the drinks. So you're going to be at -1 for the same, under the same restrictions. If you fail a horror test at any point, that will sober you up quite rapidly. But up until then, you're at -1 on all of your dice rolls. That was Erin. Could we have one for
Okay.
Thomas Gallagher, please, Sean?
Yeah, no worries.
Thomas is a hard-working chap
Oh
who's
God, we're all a
been,
bit drunk.
who's been working quite hard fixing cars all day. Hit the town a little bit heavier than he expected. Sean, you're also at -1 on all dice rolls until or unless you fail a horror save. Or, I should add, once you are out of the metro, I'll allow you to sober up then as well. Not the train, though, the actual network. Okay, so next up we have Marie. You don't need to roll because you haven't been out drinking. You have been practicing your chase tag, which is a kind of parkour, but it's a televised sport where you work in teams. For those people from the UK who've heard of the game before, Pirates is a pretty good explanation of what it's all about. So, Marie, I'm not going to need a test for you for drunkenness, but I am going to need a test for you for exhaustion. So could you give me a Constitution stamina test, please? And 15, that's a pass. Actually, your character is buzzing from it. You've never felt more alive. You've spent the time down at the gym practicing your parkour and your chase tag. You've been working out. You feel pumped. You're feeling great at the moment. Rab. Rab, on the other hand, has been drinking some very dodgy, cheap alcoholic beverages with his mates around the back of a few pubs, and he's probably been smoking a few illicit substances as well. So give me a roll for Rab, and let's find out how drunk he is. Yep. Okay, so Rab's hammered. He's also at -1.
What a surprise.
Pretty much, what a surprise, yeah. So Rab's also at -1 on all his rolls. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
While I'm on the train, I'm also going to be sitting in front of Lizzie with a half bottle of Buckfast that somehow appeared out of my tracksuit trousers,
Yes.
and just sitting there slouched over, grinning at her.
Right, you are. So, Lizzie, you're quite uncomfortable because this complete stranger is just kind of slouched over with a half bottle of Buckfast, just grinning at you, leering almost. Because although he's a big fan of yours, because he follows your team, you have no idea who he is. He's just this strange guy in a tracksuit just leering at you over a bottle of Buckfast. Okay, so
I
I'm
tried
going
to
to pretend
stay.
to scroll on my phone in the time-honoured fashion of women trying to
Yeah.
avoid men's gazes on public transport.
I was
okay,
thinking of doing the same while just to ignore these drunks a little bit until I have to.
okay, you're kind of ignoring these drunks for as long as possible. I'm not sure that you actually know. Do you know anybody else on the train? I just can't remember.
I don't
Yes,
believe
actually, you do. You know Lizzie because she
Do I?
works out at the same gym as you do, which is also
so.
where
Then I'm
you're.
probably sitting close to her.
Okay, you're sitting close to
He
Lizzie. You two are
obviously
Sorry, go ahead. I think that was Sean.
he knows me as well.
That's right, he does because you fix his car.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm just reading up now.
Okay, so your mechanic happens to be in the same thing as you. You actually got on the
Yeah.
train with Lizzie because you were walking back from the gym together. She works out at your girlfriend's gym. You've noticed that this Rab guy seems to be grinning at her, but you can't really make out exactly what's going on
I
there.
think I remember him. I think I remember him for the gym. He's a bit of a wrong'un.
That's the one. Aye, that's the one. He has.
I'm going to be looking at him occasionally and like nodding my head at him and going, like mouthing, "It is her, isn't it?"
Okay.
Sure, whatever.
Can I have
Would
a?
that happen to be the?
Sorry,
I'm
Sean. Go
just
ahead.
saying, would that happen to be the same gym that's on my relationship list?
Yes, it would be. Yeah. There's a web of interconnection between the characters. Yeah. For the
Although the
most
same
part,
gym.
although there's one person that I don't think knows anything.
What we're not telling anyone is what we're not telling anyone is actually Jim is the name for the bar.
Yeah.
It's life, Jim, but not as we know it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Thomas, you
Yeah.
actually recognise Rab as well, but not from the gym. You get enough working out fixing cars, some of which are cars that Rab brings in, and you're pretty sure those are cars that have been twocked, taken without owner's consent. So you spend a lot of time turning them away, going, I can't work on your car, because you don't want to be caught with a car you're pretty sure he's probably nicked. He's brought at least 8 cars to you in the last month, and after the second one, you stopped fixing them and made excuses. Okay, so that's the scene. You're all on the metro. It's clickety-clacking through the tunnels. You've just come out of Gateshead, across the bridge, and back into the darkness again. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. That faint light outside that you get in a metro every time it passes one of the almost inconsequential bulbs that are scattered throughout the network here and there, just to startle people riding the trains every now and again. The ones you seem to come up against suddenly and almost without warning. You'll know the ones I mean if you've ever been on the metro. When, suddenly and without warning...
I'm probably sat at the...
Go ahead. Yeah. You're sat at the...
Oh. I was going to say I'm probably like sat more by myself, kind of like sulking, listening to a bit of music. Just thinking that like, oh yeah, I'm too good to be with these swallow, you know?
Okay. Our professional bank robber seems to think he's too good to be with these people. Whilst these thoughts are going through your head, and whilst the rest of you are all having your various thoughts, and some of you are trying to hold down that last bit of Jack Daniels or that last pint of brown ale that you probably shouldn't have had, suddenly and without warning, the entire train shakes violently and comes to a shuddering halt. Now, it's been travelling at quite a speed when it suddenly just whoomph, thump. It's almost as if it's hit something. It hasn't. You heard the brakes squealing for several minutes. That ear-piercing shriek that trains' brakes cause. This has been hit heavily, though. Whoever the driver is, he's hammered this brake with such sudden force and such warning that the train comes to a stop much faster than any of you are ready for. Could you all give me a dexterity athletics check, please? If you don't have the athletics
Does
focus,
acrobatics
just
count?
acrobatics would do. Yes, sorry. I think it is acrobatics in this one. I think I've
Not
mistyped
great.
there.
I got a
Three
6 though.
sixes, Jesus.
3 sixes.
Oh, yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
He
Okay.
didn't get 3 6s.
No, this. Oh,
Couldn't 4.
Stun points. I think he's on about.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, So, is there
I
actually?
miscounted. Sorry, 2.
I was going to say I don't think there are
There's
3
2 that I can
sixes
see.
in. It's only the stunt
Anyway.
dice that count, so there are only 2 points going in the complications pool. Yes. Oh dear. Okay, you're all thrown
Pulled
about
myself into a
violently.
backflip.
Yeah, you're all thrown about violently. You grab onto something to hold on, either the upright pulls that are dotted throughout the thing, or the overhead straps and loops. The older ones are still leather. The newer ones have been replaced with webbing. Some of you grab onto them in perfect time and manage to brace yourself so that you just bounced around a little bit. You feel a little bit ill, but other than that, anybody who scored less than 11, and there will be some of you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, so those of you who scored less than 11, roll 1d6, subtract 1, and lose that many health for me, please. So, with the train bouncing about suddenly, Rab, you're okay. Luckily for Rab, when he was flung across the train, he struck his head on one of the upright poles, and since his head isn't considered a vital spot in Rab's case, he's fine. Erin, on the other,
Battles off it.
yeah,
As my head hits off the bar, I'll just be like, "Holy fuck, man! What?"
that comes out as such a sudden rush that most of you only make out the word holy and fuck, and the rest of it is just kind of blurred into one for you. Erin, on the other hand, you've been flung across the train. You've hit your knee quite heavily on the on one of the upright bars, and you've also banged your face off the chair in front of you. Luckily, it's padded, but you take a total of 4 points of damage. Now, don't forget, folks, if you do take
when
damage,
you get your funny bone.
yeah, if you do take damage, you can take your toughness off the total damage, unless I tell you it's ballistic damage, in which case your toughness has no effect. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, that's not strictly true. It's stun damage. You can only take it off if it's stun damage, not if it's damage that's done with the intent of killing you. So this is stun damage, so you can reduce this by your toughness.
Wait, wasn't there another one? Because we're not playing the super brutal rules. There was a.
Yeah, we're playing.
Probably don't
We're
need
not playing gritty. We're playing pulp, because you all wimped out on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Which means that you can reduce any non-lethal damage you take, but you can't reduce lethal damage or ballistic damage. Okay. So, after a moment or two, you realise it has gone dark in here. The lights are dimmed. They've not gone out completely, but they're dimmer than they should be. The red emergency lights have started to go on in the tunnel itself, pum, 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 as they run down the tunnel into the distance. It gives the whole thing an eerie glow. There's an odd silence. You can hear some consternation from some of the other carriages, but there weren't many people except you actually on the train in the first place, and the train has come to a complete halt. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna put on the torch on my mobile phone, and I'm gonna go and see how the woman that fell over is.
Okay. You click the torch onto your mobile phone just to increase the ability to see and hear a little bit, and you go and take a look at the woman who fell over. She's bleeding from the nose a little bit. She doesn't look too badly injured. Her knee's probably going to bruise by morning. Jenny, do you want to continue the description of yourself from there? What you look like, how you do, and what you do.
Yeah. I'm I have short, white blonde hair. I'm dressed in just pretty straightforward, plain black clothes with sort of lace-up DM-style boots. And I'll be clutching my head and like rubbing at my head, and I'll say, "What the hell happened?"
So I'll say to you, I think either the train's hit something or there's been a bomb or something. Do you get much of that in Newcastle?
Daily.
No, not really.
I'm going to pick myself up off the floor.
Mhm.
Like, oh my god, man!
Did he spill his bottle? I reckon he wouldn't have spilled his bottle if he went down like that.
I think he probably didn't spill his bottle. He's highly skilled at not spilling cheap booze. I'm not even going to ask for a dice roll on that. I'm just going to rule that he managed to not lose it.
It's a constant half filled bottle of Buckfast that he's got with him at all times.
Yes, I'm going to allow that under the circumstances.
I'm probably going to kind of like stand up, and I'm just going to be like visibly annoyed, like, them damn train drivers drinking on the job, absolutely useless. I'm like quite pissed. My character, he is a nice, tall, incredibly handsome man in his 20s, young 20s. He's got beautiful hair, just the absolute image of modeling. And he's wearing a very fancy, very, very expensive suit.
Looks like a bit of a ball bag to me.
So he's got love bites on his mirrors, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's
I
not
don't get
handsome.
it, but anyway. just
Every mediocre looking man I've ever met thinks they're beautiful, so yeah, we'll give you that, Ben. There you go.
Hey, I think I'm beautiful. All right, okay, I see. Yes. Yes,
Can I
Chris, go
attempt
ahead.
to assess the situation as I'm headstrong?
Yes, you can. The situation as you
Or
see
can I
it.
see what's going on?
Okay, what you can see is that the train has come to a very, very sudden halt. It's also at an almost imperceptible angle. So you think that the lady who said they've probably hit something, you think she might be right, because the train's just slightly not at the right angle, which probably explains why the lights aren't as bright as they should be either, because metros are powered not by a third rail but by an overhead electrical cable. So you think that whatever they've hit has just scooped them very slightly off the rails, and the full connection isn't quite been made at the top, so it's only getting some of the power. Whatever you have hit, you think this is probably a pretty serious situation that you're in, and that you're pretty lucky that people just got some minor injury, that one person just got some minor injuries.
Is this metro manned?
Well, there will be a driver, certainly, yep.
We can either go and check the front, or we can try and jimmy up in the door.
Is there any phone signal or any Wi-Fi?
Unfortunately, there's not, because you're in the underground section at the moment, which is you are between Central Station
That's
and
my
Monument.
next question was, where were we at that point?
Yep, between Central Station,
we're
which you passed
somewhere-
earlier, and Monument, which was where a lot of you were intending to get off. Some of you were going to go through to Haymarket, some through to Jesmond, but you are sort of in that period. So you reckon the train would normally take 2 to 3 minutes to pass between those two stations, so it does travel at quite a speed.
How far did we get?
However, you're approximately halfway between the two stations.
So we're fully underground. There's no.
You're
Yeah.
fully
Well, I'm not
underground.
happy. I'm late for going home. I don't want to be
Yeah, we
stuck.
couldn't get up news feeds or anything.
You can't get your
No,
news feeds.
there's
You
no
can't
signal.
get a signal on your phone at the moment. Not Wi-Fi, not 5G, not 4G, none of it.
Do Did the doors
But it's
between
more-
carriages open on the metro?
The doors between carriages open on the metro, yes,
They're
but
normally
sorry, go ahead.
electric. I was gonna say, aren't they normally like push powered or something? You push a button, they open.
You push a button and they open.
Star
They
Wars
they
doors.
require a very small electrical current. You're clearly getting enough of that, although the current the train should be getting, it's not getting the entire current. You're definitely getting enough to open the internal doors. The external doors, however, don't open until the train is in the station, or unless you hit the emergency overrides. Obviously,
But shouldn't there be some of
which
those
will be in the.
in case of emergency break glass with said hammer?
yes, there is. On each carriage, there are 3 in total of the little glass panels that have got a like an emergency hammer behind that you could break the glass with. There's even a little mark on the window about which point in the window you should hit to make it most likely to break.
I'm going to ask if anyone wants.
I don't need directions for that.
No, probably not. Chris, go ahead. You were going to ask what?
I was going to ask if anyone wanted to come with me to the front of the train.
Well, while this is
Yeah,
going
we
on,
should probably see if there's
I'm going to actually make a point of like trying to help people, especially the unconscious people, especially their pockets.
You know what? I thought like, oh, the chap's quite nice actually. He might have a heart. And then, okay.
Okay, unfortunately for
Totally
you,
look like I'm actually helping them.
yeah. Unfortunately for you,
I'm
nobody
gonna-
in your
I'm gonna
carriage is
say, yeah,
actually.
we
Just
should-
a second, Marie, please. Nobody in your carriage is actually unconscious. Although Erin looks, you could probably pick her pocket if you wanted to, whilst helping her. Sorry, Marie, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm going to say I'll we should probably see if there's there'll probably be, if there's an override to the doors, it'll be at the front of the train with the driver.
Yes.
If this was a bomb, there would be fire, there would have been a blowback, etc. So he's hit something. So I think we should go up front. Although it could have been a suicide.
It could have been.
Ooh, that's
It's not very likely
In the
this
middle
far
of
into
the
the
tunnel,
train.
though.
Yeah,
It
it's
could have
not.
been a suicide.
Usually, suicide by
Well, they could
train
have been
happens
walking
at
along the
the.
track like a proper idiot, you know.
There could have been. There is rumours that homeless people will occasionally shelter in the metro. If one of them had gotten drunk and wandered onto the line, it could have been that.
Yeah.
It could have been a suicide, but they usually occur
Would it
actually at the
dislodge a
station.
train?
You wouldn't have thought so.
Would it dislodge
yeah.
the train though?
You
Yeah.
would not have thought
Petty
so.
dude.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but
Yeah.
if he was coming round a bend, at speed, he could have, I'm not an engineer, but
Well,
However,
what
Chris-
I
also
think we
could
should go to the
be
front and
Chris, yeah?
things could be on the track, not necessarily a person.
Yes. I kept saying
Someone
Chris. I
could
meant
sabotage the line.
Yeah.
It could be sabotage on
Could
the
have
line
put
as
a
well.
yeah,
Yeah, somebody put a like a
partially,
sleeper.
A sleeper would easily have done it. In fact, you'd have been lucky to get away with the relatively minimal damage you have. But if the driver was on the ball, he might have got the brakes on in time so that you didn't hit the sleeper at full speed, which
Hang
would have
on,
derailed
we
it.
did hear the brakes though.
Oh yeah, you heard
Yeah.
the
We
brakes.
did hear the brakes though,
Yeah.
didn't we?
never had a bit.
Yeah,
So
you heard
he
the
obviously
brakes.
saw something coming.
Yes, but the question is whether he got them on
Can
in time
we
or not.
hear any?
Go ahead,
Doesn't
Jenny.
look like it because we've derailed slightly.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah, Jenny, go ahead.
Can we hear any commotion coming from other parts of the train?
You can hear a few voices from other parts of the train, but largely the train wasn't particularly busy. Rab's starting to eye up the door to the
Right.
next carriage because there's a couple of people in there that look like they might need help.
Right. I'm gonna pick myself up off the floor, and I'm gonna say I think we should check to see if anybody needs any help.
Okay,
And I'm gonna make my way
forward.
towards the next carriage.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
gonna-
go with
Yeah,
Adam and see if we can.
Okay.
okay.
I
So,
want to go speak to the driver. I want to give him a piece of my mind.
I
okay,
don't think we all should go.
okay.
Mm.
Who wants to stay in this carriage
What
and
do you
who
mean?
wants to head forward? You're going to stay in this carriage. Sean.
Is there any point in staying?
I'll head forward because I don't want to be found here.
At least go in a single,
point.
single line.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
you snake your way through the train. You're pretty much limited to a single line anyway in a metro because they're not terribly wide.
Yeah. We're all going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all make your way forward into the next carriage where you do see one or two people in there, most of which have minor injuries, not unlike your own. One of which has been knocked unconscious. There's a couple of people sort of trying to get them up and make sure they're okay. Rab gives them a quick once over, helps them to their feet, sits them down, steals their purse. So, Rab, you've managed to probably give me a dexterity legerdemain check, please. If you don't have legerdemain, just dexterity will be fine.
Yeah, I want to see if I can.
I'm just
If I
getting her
catch him
ID,
stealing
guys. Come
anything.
on.
Okay, Jenny, give me a perception seeing test, please. It's in direct conflict with Rab, so you need to score more than he did. If you score the same, we would then base it on stunts. You scored the same, but he got 4 stunt points. So you thought you saw something, but when you looked round, he's looking innocent, with just like a bottle of Buckfast in one hand, and he's like helping the girl, going, "You'll be all right, hen." In a broad Glaswegian accent and not whatever that abomination was that I just did. I apologise to both of the Glaswegians in the game for that one. Okay. For those of you who are familiar with a metro train, you'll be aware of the fact that the driver's cab is absolutely tiny, and in the it's in one of the trains itself. It's just like a cupboard off the side of the thing. If I can just find the train, I'll just move you over to that map. I don't think any of you will be able to see at the moment.
Yeah, I'm wanting to storm up and I'm wanting to.
Okay.
No, I can't see.
Pet lip on, have you?
You've got a pet lip on. Okay, so what you see at the moment, your screen's probably gone blank because I would need to get everybody across there. So if you just give me a second to post your characters into the right place. So we've got Adam, Aaron,
I
Joe,
see my character.
Tom.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
you can see your character. Yeah, Thomas.
I can see my character, yeah.
Whoa. Hang on. Rab didn't want to come across there. Elizabeth, have we missed anybody? You should all be.
I can only see 2 people.
Can you see
can
Chris?
only
I think everybody
see-
can see Adam Taylor
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
yourself.
I can only see him and nobody else.
You see me on
Chris,
the black
I can
abyss.
Chris, but nobody else.
Everyone can control Chris.
You shouldn't be able to control them, but I suspect what's happening there is because this area is very dark. However, I'm about to switch the lights on. I'm going to try and switch the lights on. Let's see how this works. Okay, I'm going to need a... Actually, I'm just going to illuminate one of you. It's going to be easier to do
I'm
that.
sorry about the interference.
Everyone
but the cat
manhandling
is
him. Can
Sorry?
anyone control mine? Because mine was
Sorry
moved
about the
before.
interference, but the cat is currently chewing my mic cable.
It's bad.
Okay.
She's chewing my headset cable.
Oh,
I'm just going
Then
to turn...
nobody can control you because nobody can see you.
All right. Brian must have moved me then. That's
Right,
fine.
yes, I moved
Suddenly
you.
a vicious cat.
Vision. I'm just trying to turn. There we go. Low light. And
Chris,
5
you look
meters.
fly as hell.
Right, that should have shed some light into
I
the
can see other
into the
people.
carriage now.
yes.
Yeah.
Very eerie.
It is very eerie. Yeah, the light in this carriage seems to have gone out. Taking a look at it, you see the strip lights actually blown. When whatever hit has hit, it's caused the strip lighting down the centre to blow, so there's no lights in this carriage. Okay. What would you all
Someone had a
like?
flashlight on the phone.
I
Yeah.
want to storm up to the driver's carriage and I want to bang on the door and I'll be like, what the bloody hell is going on? Can you not drive? You idiot. I'm a bit drunk. I'm a bit mad.
Okay.
You know.
I think it's which way is the
see where I'm
driver?
pinging now? Do you see where I'm pinging?
No. You've got a black thing off to the left there.
Right, there you go. That's Joe Watson
over
should now be right.
And
I just moved Joe there
He's
because
been
that's
back.
literally where you said you were going to
sorry.
go.
Right,
So,
okay.
there, you're right outside the door.
is that the driver's cabin?
Yes, that's why I moved you there.
Right, I want to switch my phone light on.
You want to switch your phone light on? Let me just find you. Sean.
I'm in the back. Last
I'm
person.
missing
the back.
third mine because it is in the
Dynamic
middle of
lighting
the night.
on.
We need let
Token
light
emits low light in 5 meters. There you go. Your light should be on now. Does anybody else want to turn their phone light on before we start?
Yeah.
You do? Right, you are. So that's
I was
Erin
gonna do
Black.
that as
She's
well.
going
I
to
mean,
turn.
we
may as well.
And
Um,
token emits.
and I'll
This
head,
one's
I'll
third
head
my
up
phone
over
battery.
here as well.
And I'll also turn on the light of this phone that I found in the floor.
Found.
Is
Okay, Rab's
Bryan?
turn. Yes?
I have a technical problem.
Right, which that?
I can see my avatar.
Yep.
There's no name on it, and I have no control over it.
Okay, that's an easy fix. Just give us a second. I can't see your avatar. Ah, there it is. Okay, so I'll just pop that up. We'll go over the details. I will make it Elizabeth Ryan. Check that your light and you said you
I've
were
got
turning
control
your.
now.
You've got control now. I'm just checking a few things. Yep, everything should be fine now. Okay, so we are in it's still scene 1, isn't it? So you have Joe who's kind of hammering on the door. Joe, this is what you can see through the door, and this might be the opportunity for you to sober up. As far as you can tell, the driver's cab
Oh
door.
God, what am I going to say?
As far as you can tell, the driver's cab door appears to be locked. Peering through the glass panel, which is slightly obscured by stickers that says "Stand Behind Line" and this way first aid kit and so on. What you see through there is the driver slumped back in his seat. He's unconscious. He's bleeding from the mouth. He's got what you would first take to be a stone in his lap. On closer look, however, it isn't. It's a creature of some kind that's come straight through the train's front window with some force and hit the driver in the chest and stomach and now pinned him to his seat. The creature is a mess, having been hit by the train and smashed through the window. What's left of it is almost impossible to recognise, but it looks like some kind of weird cross between a manta ray and a squid. However, it's bigger than the driver is, what's left of it. It's difficult to tell if it started off bigger than the driver or if what you're seeing is just a lot of what should be compressed organs inside it that have just spilled out across the thing. It's very dead. The driver is twitching slightly, so he does still appear to be alive. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to jump back. Like, oh my God, someone threw a squid at him.
Okay, so the guy in the
Could have been like,
business
"What?"
suit jumps back and goes, "Oh my
Did
God,
he
somebody threw a
say-
squid at him." Go ahead, Marie, sorry.
Did he say somebody threw a squid at him?
Yep, that's exactly what he
Did-
said.
Did he say somebody threw a squid at him?
That's what I heard.
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
I'll be like,
I'm going to start
driver-
checking that I've not hit my head. I'm checking my own head for bumps to see if I hit my head.
What's somebody doing down here at this time of night with a squid? Eh?
Could I get
I know.
a
What's wrong with people from Newcastle?
could I get a willpower
Alright.
morale test from Joe Watson, please?
Oh, bollocks.
Oh dear.
Okay, so you have
Oh dear.
failed, which means
Oh,
you're a
I'm
bit
terrified
nervous.
of seafood.
You're terrified. Yeah, you're a bit nervous. You've jumped back. You don't want to open that, even though it's obvious that the creature's dead. You can't bring yourself to open it. It's like, what happens if there's another one in there? What happens if it just comes back to life? Who knows what these things are? This is, and you just won't go anywhere near it.
I'm going to point to the
However-
nearest person. I'm going to say, you, go in there and help him.
Okay. If you were drunk, you're not now. So if you were suffering any penalties from being drunk, you've sobered up.
Oh yeah, I had a -1, didn't I? So it would have been 8. Oh, even better.
Yeah. Okay.
Being headstrong, I am going to go ahead.
Okay. You go ahead and take a look through.
Jump back to here.
Come on, guys.
What you
Why don't
see
get help?
is exactly what I described. You see the driver who's bleeding and injured. He's pinned underneath this mess of what looks like a giant squid crossed with a manta ray that's come straight through the front window and hit him, pinned him to his seat. He's now coming round though, and he's kind of blinking, trying to get some focus back. He sees you at the window and he's mouthing something. Help, you think, is what he's mouthing. What would you like to do?
I'm going to start making my way over.
So it looks like some sort of organic-looking squid thing.
Yeah, it's definitely organic.
Okay.
What's left of it?
He's shouting help. Is it still alive? Did you say?
He's still alive. The creature's definitely not. It's been largely deconstructed by being having hit by a train and then fired through the window. Can I have, for Adam Taylor and Erin Black, can you both give me willpower, self-discipline, or willpower morale checks, please? You need to beat 11.
Oh.
Oh, just.
Okay, Erin,
12.
you're managing. You're like, oh god, right, okay. Adam, you only got a 10, so you've sobered up if you were drunk, but you also take a point of horror. Of fear, not horror. That's something slightly different. So Adam has a point of fear.
Where
Joe
do I
has
note
a
that
point.
down? Sorry.
Sorry, two people spoke at once, and
Sure,
I just couldn't quite make it out. I'm going to start with Ben because I was actually I'd just told you something, so it might be a question you had for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, where do we put fear points?
Just note it down anywhere you like on your character sheet.
There is actually a fear section.
I
If you
think
go
there is. If you go to the little cog, you can add a fear section. Jenny, what was it you were saying there?
I was just going to ask if I am still drunk after seeing this, even though I passed my willpower.
Yes, you're still a little bit tipsy. It hasn't sobered you up, but at the same time, you haven't gained a fear point either, so that's good, right?
Yeah. I'm going to start saying, look, I think we need to get the driver out of there. If he's still alive, we need to help him.
No.
Okay.
No.
Is there a fire
Yes.
extinguisher on this side?
A fire
There'll
extinguisher,
be
yes,
one
there is.
in the glass panel.
I'm going
Can I
to
make a
grab. I'm going to
suggestion?
break it. Yeah.
Yeah. uh-huh.
Can I make a suggestion before you
Yeah.
start hammering into things? We have fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
Have you tried the handle?
Yes, they
I'll
have.
try the handle
Yeah,
first.
yeah. They have. It was locked. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Those windows are going to be made out of
Right.
bouncy plastic, aren't they?
Yes, the windows
Yeah.
are.
Just
break the
recommend
window.
smashing off the handle.
Yes, exactly. If you smash the
smash the
handle,
handle
that's
off.
actually
Yeah,
the
that's
weak
what I was
point.
going to do. I wasn't going to go for the window.
Okay, you grab the
And we're
fire
both-
I'm just gonna point
extinguisher.
out that if there's an emergency, if there's an
Go ahead. Go on, Murray.
Right.
if there's an emergency phone, it's in the cab.
It's in the cab. That's right.
Yeah.
Would it be
If there's
Would
an
it be
emergency phone, it
worthwhile?
will be in the cab.
Sean, go
pulling
ahead.
the emergency code or whatever it is, the handle?
It might
Be
very
worthwhile
well
pulling
be.
the
Yes.
emergency handle in the train.
You pull the
That might
emergency
release all the
handle.
doors.
You hear a bzzzt inside
Let's
the driver's cab, and a light flashes on. You also see the doors, everything except the driver's cab door, tries to open but just won't. So it gets like an inch and then shuts, inch shut, inch shut, and sort of making a clapping noise. Okay, Chris, you're going to try and break the door down into the
not enough
driver's.
power.
It could be that. It could be that it needs a second button. It could be that something's jammed it. There's a number of things it could be, but not enough power is definitely one of the options. Chris, could I have the strength
Well, yeah.
might test from you, please, to bash down that door?
Let's see if my one second. Let me roll it. Let's see if my budget 2 is coming handy.
Yep. Oh, nice one. In one blow. So you take the fire extinguisher, whang! There's a metallic cracking noise and ping as the door handle buckles. The door itself buckles slightly and then pops open. You force it open the rest of the way because it's now slightly warped, so it's a bit difficult, but you manage to peel it back almost like a corned beef tin. Inside, the stench is overwhelming. It smells like sort of multiple day old salmon that somebody's left in the heat, or tuna possibly,
Ugh,
in here, and the driver's blood
nasty.
is everywhere as well. He's quite badly injured, but you figure not terminally so. If he could be gotten to a doctor, you could probably, well, a hospital would probably be the best bet. Paramedic would do in a pinch.
Right. Is there there should be a first aid kit, shouldn't there, in here?
There is a first
I
aid
have
kit.
a medical skill.
You have a medical skill, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
You grab the first aid kit. When Erin goes to get it, you go, allow me. You take the first aid kit, and then you are going to need a willpower self-discipline roll to go back in there, mind.
Oh, god damn it!
Because you have
can
a
they
point
pull
of
them
fear.
out and just can they pull them out?
Okay.
I
I
don't have to
don't
make
think
a
we should
roll.
all be going in at the same night.
You couldn't all fit in, it's very
Yeah.
small. You ask,
You'd be
No.
able to get one person in.
you can really. You ask if they can get him out. So who would like to try?
I'll try and get him out.
Okay, make another strength might
I think I'm
test
getting
for
some
me.
adrenaline from.
Yes.
I'm not going near that
See if it-
squid.
See if we can get to these seats.
Yeah. I'm just going to move a few people back
mean,
so you've got the space
If
to
I
do
can
it.
help, then
You'll be able to help once he's sort of part way out. You'll be able to help then. Adam, you're struggling a little bit,
So we're
but
gonna
you
be
do
killed.
manage to get him out from underneath this massive, ruined, whatever the hell that is. And he comes out with a sort of noise, and then the best way to describe it is like giant fish guts just roll off the top of him and slop onto the ground. It's one of the most revolting things you've ever seen, except some of those late night horror films.
It makes
so-
a
Everyone
popping
can roll
noise.
their willpower.
Yeah, it makes a proper noise. So Erin gives you a hand
Somebody
once
goes, nice.
Yeah. Erin gives you a hand once you're far enough out. You can see that the guy's in a Metro driver's uniform. There's the name tag on it is Reg Boyega. Reg Boyega. I can't pronounce it, and I wrote it.
Okay.
Boyega. Reg Boyega is the name on his tag.
Boyega, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, you get him onto the seat
Okay.
and lure him
Shall I
down.
patch him up?
Yeah, you can do. Give me a intelligence medicine roll, please.
I'm gonna say, come on, Reg. You're getting through this, buddy. You're our ticket out of here.
Oh, easy. Right, and with 5 stunt points if you would
nice.
like to apply them.
What would that come under? Is there a,
Exploration stunts. I think.
which ones? Okie dokie.
Any you feel would be
General
appropriate
combat
given the
athletics.
job. Yeah, it's not going to be combat stunts. And could I have
I
a
deal extra damage.
could I have a
Stitching time.
perception hearing test from, let's see who's close enough, Adam and Erin, please.
Okay.
Perception's not the best.
Oh.
Doesn't
You
matter,
were
though.
saying?
Good roll.
Okay, Adam can hear
oh.
something echoing up the chamber, up the
I've
Por-
got a
the
idea of what I'd
tube?
like to spend the thing on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking when a plan comes together, if I spend all 3 on that,
Mhm.
as long as it's you reveal the test was a part of your plan all along, you granting a bonus equal to the SP spent to one ally's test along the same encounter to accomplish the same goal. So
Okay.
I'm thinking our goal obviously is to get out. So if you guys make a test relating to getting out, you can have an extra 3 stun points added on.
Okay, technically the goal would have to be what you used this skill for, which was to treat Reg. However, I liked your thinking there, so I'm going to let that stand, and I'm going to say that you can give the other player characters a bonus in their next roll that relates to getting out of the situation you're in. Okay? Because I did like your thinking on that one.
There you go.
So,
Did I hear the noise in the tunnel, or is it
yes,
just Erin?
you hear, Erin, you scored 12, so you didn't quite catch it.
Right.
But what Adam heard is echoing up the tunnel vaguely
Oh,
in
the way
here.
down.
As sort of,
Other way round.
Coming from here.
he can't tell the way it's echoing up the tunnel. He can't really tell which direction it's coming from.
It was Erin who got the 20.
It was Erin that got the 20. Ah, so it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry. So it's Erin that hears. It's Adam that doesn't.
I know it's not unless.
So, yeah, it's not like
Okay.
Jenny to passive roll that well because
yeah.
dice rollers normally hate her.
Hey!
I'm sure when we get to stealth rolls, we'll get the usual 3 ones.
Well, true.
So yeah, what you can hear echoing up
so
the tunnel is
can I-
that sort of noise.
Right, but I still can't tell the direction.
Actually, you've got 20
coming
with
towards, it's
5
getting louder.
stunts. So what would you like to use the stunts for?
Oh, okay. Stunts.
Because you might very well
Would
be
it
able to
be-
figure out the direction.
Let's see. Well, I mean, could I just use them to figure out where it's coming
Since you
from or
got
how close it
5,
is,
and
one
that's
of those-
quite a
one of the
lot,
two?
I'm going to say yes, you can. I'm going to play a little bit fast and loose with the rules there and say yes, you can. You can figure out that it's coming from the. Let me just have a look now. So it would have come. You're about here. It appears to be coming from the central station end, so it's actually behind the train. It's the direction you came
Right,
from.
Okay. Right.
You can now start to hear, you know, that
I'm
sort
gonna-
of whipping noise you hear in the overhead cable in the metro when there's a train coming to the station. You can now start to hear that as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna say to everyone, I think there's something coming up behind us, and I don't like the sound of it.
Another squid.
Could be. What would you all like?
Maybe we should try getting out of the train.
Doesn't that sound like a great idea?
You mean we
How,
should?
Is
Just a second, Brady. Sorry, Sean, you were saying?
I'd like to.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Marie, go ahead.
I'd like to go into the cab and see if I can find the emergency. If there's an emergency
Nice
phone in
one.
the cab.
Yes, okay. You take a look around the emergency, for the emergency phone. It doesn't take you long to find it, actually. Let me just check on the complications versus serendipity. Yeah, you're okay. So you pick the phone up and get through to somebody on the other end. But bizarrely, as you pick the phone up, what you hear the voice on the other end say is obviously not intended for you. It's almost as if they're talking to somebody over the shoulder. And you just catch them go, fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Reg, is that you? Reg, we've been trying to get through to you. Is that you?
Maybe you can. It's not Reg. Reg has been
who is-
injured. Something's come through the window of the cab.
Something's come through the window.
Sorry, my name's Lizzie Ryan. I'm just a passenger.
Right. And You say Reg is hurt.
Aye. It looks. Yes.
Okay, it looks like what? Go ahead.
Got him out of the cabin. He's on one of the benches, but he's hurt.
Okay,
What's
right.
come through the window looks like a squid.
What? Did you say it looks like a squid?
Aye. Aye, it looks like a squid.
Is this some kind of joke?
Did I
Try and get
stutter?
a picture of it with a phone.
It's no a joke. This is no a joke, mate. See if I was going to break into the cab of a metro train to play. We've had to bust the door in with a fire extinguisher. Do you think I would pick this phone up and go, "Oh, aye, there's a squid come through the window, ha ha," for a joke? The train's partially derailed. There's people hurt here.
Okay. How is Reg at the moment?
What's wrong with you?
How is Reg at the moment? Is he okay? I'm going to send an ambulance. I'm going to send some paramedics down. We'll have to get that section of.
He's.
Go on. Are you still there?
He's injured. I'm not a doctor. He seems to be alive, but I'm not a doctor. I don't know how bad it is or anything. And he's covered in blood off this thing that's come through the window, and it stinks.
Okay. We're sending people
It's
down.
stinking.
We'll be there as quickly as we can. Try not to panic.
The last station we were in was Central. We were heading towards Monument, so
Yeah, I've got you showed on. You're shown on the
the
board
last
here
station we
as.
came out, it was Central, and it's heading for aye.
Yeah, it's shown on the board here as you're between Central Station and Monument. Okay, we're sending somebody down. Just stay put. Try and stay calm.
If someone comes the other way, this will get a lot worse, mate.
There's nothing coming the other way. We're shutting down the entire green line. There's nothing moving on the line. You won't. Don't
Right.
worry about it. You won't get hit by anything. And you're thinking to yourself as you're saying this, we won't get hit by another train.
Someone's getting off this train.
Right, what does everybody want to do? You can overhear the conversation she's having.
Get out of here.
Does this sound that I'm hearing, does it sound like it's getting louder or closer?
Yeah, it's definitely getting closer.
Or can I not tell?
Can any of the rest of us hear it?
The rest of you
Well,
can
I've
now
pointed
make.
it out to everyone, but I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, the rest of you can now
I
make.
don't think we should stay on the train because we're going to be like sardines, basically,
Yeah.
in a tin can.
Any chance I could finish answering the question I was
Could I
asked?
ask, is there also a tannoy?
Apparently.
There's a large voice delay. Sorry.
Right, okay, so, question I was asked that I'm trying to answer. Right, yes, you can all make a perception hearing test.
All of us.
Yes, you can all do it, yeah. Okay, so that's a number of
heard it this
passes
time.
coming in there. Yep, anybody who scores, at this point, anybody who scores 11 or better will hear it. Oh no, the doors are not opened yet. 13. Anybody who scores 13 or better can hear it. Right, sorry, Marie,
Which
you were
way did
trying
you say it
to...
was coming from? Like the driver's side or the...
No, it's coming from Central Station. It's coming from behind you. Marie, you were trying to say?
Okay.
I was trying to ask, is there a button for the tannoy system so we can tell all the passengers what's happening?
Yes, there is. Good idea. Okay, you hit the button on the tannoy thing.
Yeah.
Bing bong. Right. What would you like to say?
Hiya. The driver's been hurt, and I've been on to the Sentinel thing, and they're sending ambulances and stuff. So stay calm and try to just keep calm. They'll be here soon.
Okay. You hear Lizzie tell everybody to keep calm and they'll be here soon. And those of you who've heard these things coming are like, no, they're not going to be here before whatever that is gets here. So what would you all like to do?
Leave.
Good idea.
Yeah, go in the opposite direction to the sound.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to try and get.
Are
out
we
of
just
the
going to
train.
abandon the driver then?
No.
No, I think we should carry him with us.
Yeah,
Bring
you
him
can.
with us.
He
I have a
can.
question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
So, in underground tunnels, just from what I've seen on movies and that,
Which are
there's
mostly set in the
sometimes like
US.
hatches, so like maintenance people can
Yes.
come in, they can repair the track.
Mhm.
Is there a door that we can just go in there so we don't maybe get hit by a train? Because we
There are no
don't
trains.
know. I know we've been told there isn't any, but there's something behind us coming.
It's
And if it
definitely
isn't
not
a
a
train,
train.
what is it? I don't want to find out.
I'm with Ben on I'm with Ben on this one. I have experience with the Newcastle Underground, and I just don't believe them.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, whatever it is, it's big, and I'd rather be off the tracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said before that we should get out with the train because we're like sardines.
Yes, you are a bit. Okay, so
And staying in this.
you can get the driver out. The driver can walk,
but if
but
we
not
get-
unaided. Yeah. He will need to be aided in
Okay.
order to walk.
Right.
You'll need at least one person helping him at all times. Whoever does help him will be at a significant disadvantage. However, the first problem is getting out of the train.
Right.
How would you like to
That
try?
shouldn't be too hard.
You'd think.
Smash a window.
Oh
Smash
yeah,
a
in fact,
window.
I think Rab already did, didn't he? Or he was talking about it. Okay, Rab, you grab the emergency
going to,
hammer.
yeah.
You've been dying to break one of these windows since before this even started to happen. Right? You take a big
I've been down
swing
to
at
break
what?
one of these windows since I was 4.
Yeah, exactly. This is like for you. This is a dream come true. You get to smash a metro window without any risk of there being repercussions for it. So you take a big swing with the hammer. Could you make a strength might test? Because you're actually using the hammer, you get +2 to your dice roll. 12, yeah. Boom.
14.
You hit the 14 with the +2. You hit the window in the corner and the whole thing just kind of swings outwards. You were kind of hoping it would shatter. You're almost disappointed as the bottom just pops out and then it swings a couple of times and the front just drops to the ground and tilts backwards against the wall. You're like, oh. I was hoping for broken glass everywhere. You can now all make it out of the train without further
I'm
ado.
gonna
Or indeed
jump out and
don't.
start looking for a door.
Okay. You can't see one from
I'm
here,
more
but
concerned about my safety over anyone else's.
you can't see a door from here, but you cannot see that far up the corridor either, if you're entirely honest. Okay, so what's up next?
I've
Yep.
I've got one last thing that I want to check the cab for.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to see if there's an emergency kit with a torch in it.
There is an emergency kit with a
Want to see if
torch
there's
in
an
it.
emergency kit with a
It's
torch in it.
underneath the driver's seat. Well thought. Okay,
Yep.
so who's going to take that torch? Because it has a much
Yep.
better range than the one you were carrying on your phone. So you're going to use the mag light from the driver's emergency kit. So just give me a second to update your token
Right, who's
emits.
taking point then?
Bright light over
It's gonna
2
stick.
meters and dim light over. Oh, sorry, it's actually better than that. It's 4 meters and dim light over 8. It does stink a little bit. It smells worryingly of some kind of seafood, yes, which you could probably
Yeah.
do without.
I'm gonna see if they. I'm gonna see if they hold on a wee minute, and I'm gonna kick off the shoes I'm wearing,
Uh-huh.
go into my gym bag, and I'm gonna put on my trainers.
Right.
Because I've waded through that in my shoes, so they'll be ruined.
Yes,
So
they
that'll
are.
be. Gonna get my trainers on.
Right. You get your trainers on. You're pretty confident you can make it up this this darkened tunnel way faster than any of them, because this is kind of what you do almost.
Yep.
So let me just have a look at. As you all climb out through the window, I'm just going to move you on to the next map. which will be this curvature, which is probably why you can't see if there's a thing or not. So I will... right, they shouldn't be there. Just give me a second. I'll place you guys. Don't worry about these. They haven't...
Is it possible I'm able to, like, use my strength to, like, take one of the hand poles from inside the train? Like, as a weapon, like a makeshift weapon?
Okay, that's quite a lot of extra... sorry, that's quite a lot of strength. You're going to need to try that. Give me a strength might test. See if you can tear one of them off.
Could he technically get the extra 3 from my other one?
Yeah. No, you specifically said to help get you out of here, and this seems to be a move more designed to clobber something if it gets close. So I'm not going to give him the extra 3 for this.
No worries.
Because I am clearly evil. And let's see, what did you just score 15 with 4 stunt points there?
Good
Okay.
roll as well.
That's not a bad
Yes.
roll. Okay, you start riving at the upright pull. It's given a little bit. You can feel one of the bolts breaks. It's still holding, but you figure given a little bit more time and some more effort, you could possibly break that and get it down. Just depends on whether or not you want to
I
risk
think we're in
the
a
time.
rush, so...
Yeah, you are in a bit of a rush. Okay.
Everyone's off the train already. I'm gonna just.
Yeah, you
go
should
with
be on the new map now. I'll just move you all back a little bit to
Yeah.
closer to the point where the train actually was. I'm going to pay a quick visit to the little Games Master's room. If you guys would like to organise yourselves in marching order while I'm away, I'm going to leave your vocals open to the audience. I'm just going to shut mine down. Remind me when I get back to open mine up again. I'll just be a moment.
I'm going to stick close to Elizabeth since she has a torch, but a little bit ahead because, you know, if we get attacked from behind, I'll have a head start.
Are we going towards the sound or away from it?
Away from it.
Away.
Have you not been paying attention?
I have been.
Uh-huh.
There's just been a lot of voice delay.
Right. So you're getting a lot of
I
lag.
am. Yeah, I've had
Couple
some lag.
seconds.
About, I can hear Bryan speaking upstairs.
It was quite
Before I
funny.
hear him
It was
speak
quite
on the
funny when
mic.
you two were having the call because you were just talking over each other. Silence. Talking over each other. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm going to do with the torch is, I'm going to hand the torch off to you, Ben, seeing as you're
Oh,
closest,
thank you.
and you're talking about being ahead of everybody else, so you've got a head start. So your point now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the torch.
I'll take this opportunity. So my character, right? He's, for those of you who don't know, I don't think Marie knows, but he's a scout for like a bank, for like bank robbery and stuff. I go in and check the place out and everything. I'm middle class, so I'm quite wealthy, but I spend a lot more than I earn, which is why I rob banks. So I'm quite snobbery. I think of myself as very rich when really I'm not that rich. I'm wealthy, but you know, I spend far too much on suits. So I kind of think I kind of think less of you guys just because of that. But you know, I'm gonna run away.
I'm quite muscular. I've got quite short hair tied back. I'm not made up or anything. I'm fairly average except for all the muscle.
Sorry about that.
The
I'm back.
trainers I've just put on are clearly professional athlete ones, and I've got a gym bag full of kit basically. Because what I am is I do chase, tag, and parkour. Having the torch, if I'm trying to dodge things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get the strobe effect with the torch, and everything will wind up vomiting in a corner. So I'm giving the torch off to someone else.
You're going to hand the
I was
torch
going
off
to
to someone
say
else.
actually.
Yeah.
So handing the torch over to Ben.
To who? Sorry, Ben, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, Ben's saying his character Joel is sort of middle class.
Yes,
My
that's right.
character is as well.
Mhm.
She's a pilot. Did you say that we'd actually already met before, me and his character?
Yeah, he hit on you in the bar earlier tonight.
All right, okay.
He
So
seemed to be.
I would know his name at least.
Yeah, you know his name. He didn't seem to be taking it that seriously though. He seemed to be very distracted at the time. Renee, I'm just
Yeah.
going to zip you back
Okay.
down
Probably
to
tried
the...
to like.
There we go.
I probably bragged a little bit about money, like, oh, I've got a Lamborghini, you know, but it's in the store. I can't show you it right now, but trust me, I have it.
Okay, Sean's currently helping the
I like-
driver. So Sean's got Reg.
Okay.
Reg just kind of coming back round to consciousness more and more as the proceedings gather, but he is hurt. He's bleeding from a wound in his... he was bleeding in a wound from his side, but the strange posh guy seems to have solved that. There's something about this strange posh guy that's not quite right as well. There's something you just not quite put your finger on about him. But you've got more...
Shifty looking.
Shifty looking. He's shifty looking, yes. Handsome before he brings it up himself again. But shifty looking nonetheless.
Incredibly handsome.
All right,
Vain.
incredibly handsome and massively vain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
you've managed to get everybody...
As we're,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Marie. Yeah.
as we're walking along the tracks, I'm going to be reaching into the gym bag and putting on like my elbow pads and my knee pads.
Right, yeah. You'll never outrun whatever that is
Just in
behind
case,
us and
'cause
them.
if I
Don't have to
run, I
outrun
might
them.
have
Yes.
Don't have to outrun that.
I wouldn't have to
I won't have to outrun you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going to start recording people characters down on this list in the order that you logged in on, or at least the order you displayed along my screen. So when I start asking for names, that's why it's been done in that order, if you're wondering. And I'll be asking for names in just a moment's time. Okay, so a message, just a second. Assist with driver so you can walk with a brisker pace. Yes, you can. So if you just want to move Adam up to the other side of Rab, so just sort of back to that square there. Perfect. Right, so that's kind of the
Reg.
formation you're in at the moment. Reg, yep, sorry. It's kind of the formation you're in at the moment, with Rab kind of looking over behind him, because he's used to being chased. And he's pretty sure that something about these strange noises that you're all starting to hear now is kind of reminiscent. It sets off that hindbrain thing of, like, he's more used to being chased by the police, to be fair, but on this occasion, he thinks he's being chased by something else. Can you all give me a perception seeing test, please?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Can we have a bonus because we've got a big old torch?
You can all have +1 if you're shining the torch back that way, yes.
I've got a 17.
Okay.
Okay. So I got a 12 then.
Okay, so Rab can't quite make out what they are, but there's definitely some black shadows back there heading in his direction, and that's enough for him. He turns and gives them a
Jesus.
clean pair of heels. He doesn't bother to look back. So, Rab, could I have a... Let me just see now. So you will be 1 round ahead of your pursuers. Rab, could I have a Constitution running or Dex?
We're
No,
pursuers?
Constitution running. This is just from Rab because he's the first one to run. So I need a Constitution running test for Rab, please. There we go. That's 13. You're running in the dark. Let me just check the TN. Chase test. The train. Blocking the tunnel.
Rab shot for something.
Okay. So for the first round, your target number's 15. So that's a 0. Actually, no, you've already squeezed past the train, haven't you? So your target number is 11. That's a pass. Rab's got a 3 on his chase test for round 1. The rest of you all, except Lizzie, who appears to have failed. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Lizzie's failed, so all she's aware of is there's something back there you'd rather not be around. So can I have a Constitution running test for Lizzie or Dexterity Acrobatics because of her background in parkour? Whichever's the highest.
Wait, so they've seen something or haven't seen something and they're running away because they're scared?
Basically, what I'm doing is anybody, because you're all shining light, because you're all shining light down there, right, anybody who hasn't seen what's coming, there must be an explanation for that. The explanation is likely to be that they went, fuck this, I'm off, and just ran.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, Marie, I'm just waiting for that dice roll from you.
18.
18. Ah, right, there we go.
Damn.
So that's pretty good. She's got 4 points in her chase pool. She's off as well. So Lizzie and Rab are off up the corridor. Vroom, 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 vroom. What the rest of you see, on the other hand, is something somewhat alarming. But you now think you understand what it was you saw in the driver's compartment lying across Reg earlier, because there appears to be about half a dozen of them scuttling up the corridor towards you. What the creatures look like are giant manta rays that are suspended about 1.5 meters, 2 meters up on multiple sort of pseudopod-like legs. So if you imagine a manta ray with squid-like appendages coming down from the bottom, they're using those as legs to grab things and to move up the corridor. You can see them, they're just on the far side of the train, so you've all got a bit of a head start on them. They've got to get round the train and you're already off it. So the train will slow them down. But these things are horrific. So everybody that passed a perception roll, now give me a willpower test, please. You may use self-discipline or morale or courage with it as well.
God, I'm going to fail all of these. Maybe not.
Your target number for this is 11, by the way.
Ooh. Got 5 stun points, if that matters.
No, not for this one, it doesn't. Okay,
That's
so...
another 2 points in the
Yep, another 2 points in the
thing.
complication. Okay, so what's happened there is our stirring chase music seems to have stopped for some reason as well. So let me just, there we go, tension, set on shuffle, and that's interesting. That's the one I want. There we go. Let's play that.
That is a lot of 6s.
And if I can find the master volume to turn that down, that would be good. There we go, because I would like to be heard over my own sound effects. That would be handy, wouldn't it? Okay, so you see these things coming. None of you have failed that horror test. You'll be fairly happy to know. So none of you take another point of fear. What you all do instead is take off after Rab and Lizzie, who are now off, legging it up the corridor. Lizzie's kind of leaping. She hits the wall and throws herself sideways and then sprints up the corridor. Rab's just like, running away up the middle of the corridor. So, could I have a Constitution running roll from everybody in the order I call your name out, please? The exception is if you have a talent that allows you to substitute a different attribute and focus like Marie does. So, beginning with... so you just... Yeah. Okay, we will start with Jenny then, since you rolled.
Sorry.
I tell you what, I did say in the order I called your name out, so we'll ignore that roll. We'll assume you just had too tight a grip on your mouse. So, Adam
question.
first. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sean.
What the penalty for being mildly inebriated, has that gone away?
At this point, I'm going to say Yes. You've all sobered up somewhat by seeing these things coming straight for you. So, could I have a Constitution running test for Adam Taylor, please?
I've rolled.
Sorry, I was just taking a jumper off there. Okay, so Adam, you've passed. You managed to add 1 into the chase pool, so you're kind of lumbering a little bit, partly because you've been held back a little bit by Reg, who's struggling somewhat. So, Ben, could you give me your test as well, please?
Absolutely.
That's a pass for Joe. He takes off at high speed, seeing these creatures coming from, these nightmare things. He saw one dead earlier. He really didn't want to see one alive. There's now about half a dozen of them tumbling over one another, coming up the corridor behind, trying to get to you. And he's had enough. He's off. Boom. That's 5 in his chase test. And Erin, now it's time for you to roll for Erin, Jenny. And since the roll you accidentally triggered too soon would have been a fail, I'm going to let you roll again now that your turn has come around. Okay, that's very much not a fail. Erin takes one look at these things and just think, right, that's enough, I'm out of here. Boom. She's now throwing other people behind her. She's gone tearing past the guy that tried to chat her up in the bar earlier. She's like off up the passageway. Could I have a roll for Thomas, please? Okay, that is a fail for Thomas. So you're struggling a bit with the weight of Reg, who's struggling to stay on his feet. Between you and Adam, you're still trying to work out a method to get him to safety, so you don't get to add anything to your chase pool this round. Lizzie, go ahead and make your roll, remembering you can substitute your dexterity acrobatics.
Damn.
16, and that's 4 added. Lizzie's out in front of everybody, as can be expected. Sort of like a hare, just off up the corridor with these things chasing. And Rab, could we have a roll for Rab as well, please, Mark? And that's a narrow fail. So Rab starts running up the corridor, slips in the gravel, but because he would have scored some stunt points, I'm going to say he doesn't go down and injure himself. He skids a bit, and he doesn't get any further forward. So he's still on 3 points on the chase. Now these creatures will roll as one, as a mass. So let me just find them, and let's have a roll for the massive creatures coming up behind.
Shall we move forwards?
Can I
You don't need to worry
quick
about the
question?
map much, really. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So these creatures, just from my quick seeing them, do they react to light or anything?
Well, each of them have 6
Like, how
eyes.
are they
They've got 6 small beady eyes in the
so
front
like when
of
I
the
shine
face.
the big beam.
When you shone the big beam
did
at
they,
them,
like,
they
wince
came
a little bit or
straight for.
anything?
Nah, they didn't wince. They just kind of came straight at you. Sorry, Man of
Okay.
War. There it is. I was having a bit of trouble getting the thing to open. So I'm going to make a single Constitution stamina test for these creatures, and they have. Right, they're
Fail.
struggling to get around that train. That train's right in the way, and they're kind of trying to squeeze around. They're having no luck at all. I mean, they're getting up, but at such a slow rate. You're fairly sure that you can make a run of it, and I've no idea why that dice just auto-rolled on the screen there, but let's not worry too much about it, I suppose. Okay, so now then, I nearly said next round. I just need to check where this gets you. So That was the first test. So we're on the second test now.
Am I seeing any of those access doors?
You can... Let me see where the next one is. No, you can't see one yet from where you are. So you don't know how close together they're going to be because you've never had to sort of check, but you're really, really hoping to see one soon. Could I have another chase test from Adam, please? That train being in the way is now really helping serve you guys because it's slowing these creatures down quite significantly.
It's Constitution.
Constitution, stamina, yeah. Right, the sight of these creatures kind of getting to the train, you suddenly realise as well you've left people back there. You forgot about as you clambered out, and one of them. I mean, you did warn them before you went. One of them's like out of the window, sees these things coming and just runs. Another one sticks the head out the window just in time for one of these creatures to just grab them with two of the tentacles, woof, rips them out of the train, and just the person disappears screaming into this mass of these alien creatures and just tentacles. You can hear screaming and agonized yelps, and then that slowly dims. This is a thing you will hear in your nightmares probably for the rest of your lives. So, Adam, that has
however long they may be,
spurred you on quite a bit, to be honest, and you're now picking up speed as you go tearing up this darkened tunnel. Ben, give me a roll.
Sure thing. Just there we go.
Between squeezing past the train and killing one of the people behind you, that does seem to have slowed the alien creatures down a little bit. It has not slowed Joe down at all, though. He's now picking up speed a bit, and is actually almost caught up to Lizzie. He's like panic fueled. Erin, could you give me a roll, please?
Okay.
And that's a fail. Okay, so Erin goes running up the corridor in the darkness. She just misses her footing a bit and trips on one of the sleepers. She almost goes down, but somebody else just grabs her and keeps her on her feet. You're not quite sure who it was. You just bark out a thank you as you manage to stay on your feet, but you're not gaining anything in your flight to safety this round. Thomas, please, give me another roll. Target numbers have dropped
Okay.
now
Fail.
again as well.
Another fail. Here we go.
Nope, that's a pass. And with 6 points, I'll just open the chase stunts for you. Let me see. My mouse has gone a bit berserk. It might need a new battery in it. Right, I'm having a little bit of trouble. While I change yes, you can go on without me.
No. What? No.
Well, you know.
I will not be doing that.
Okay, that's fine too.
Right, so between myself and Chris, Adam Taylor, we've got Reg.
You have
We've
got
both
Reg,
rolled
yes.
sixes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can we sort of equalize up, move him as fast as possible down the corridor with the 6 stun points?
Yes, you can. Yes, you
along
can.
the tunnel.
Yeah, I'll allow you to do that. See,
Could roll
between us.
yes, you can. So,
Yep.
Thomas and Adam are now both on 6, so is Reg. So you've kind of seeing these things coming and hearing the screaming of somebody being torn apart by them. One of you gets Reg under one shoulder, one of you gets him under the other shoulder. You just pick him up and you run for your lives and his down this corridor. His legs are desperately kicking, trying to get some extra purchase, but you've kind of picked him off. He's a bit shorter than you, and you're just running for it. Lizzie, can I have a roll for Lizzie, please?
also I'm starting to entertain some vague thoughts that I should probably look for one of them emergency phones because the emergency services are coming into that back there.
Yes, that's a very good point, and you don't know whether they're coming from the direction you're heading or from behind you. So
Yeah.
you start looking for an emergency phone in much the same way as Joe's starting to look for one of these maintenance exits. You parkour it up the corridor as fast as your feet will carry you. You can take 4 stunt points worth of chase stunts if you would like to. And I will add 4 to your chase total, which gives you 12. You're still way out ahead.
I'm just looking at chase stunts, okay?
Okay, no problem. You'll notice there are 2. There are general chase stunts, and then there's chase stunts that are specifically written for Part 1 Metro Apologises. You can use a stunt from either.
Yeah.
Metro apologise.
Yes.
Yep.
Not seeing a general chase stunt.
It'll be
Yeah, I'm not
chase
seeing a
stunts.
general chase stunts either, Brian.
Okay,
But,
let me just take a look. It might be that that's not shown to the general public, as it were. So let me just take a quick look. Stunts, general. Oh shit, that's general combat stunts. Chase stunts, general. Edit. Yeah, it's not shown in players' journals just yet. So there you go. Should have cropped up now.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Am I able to hold the stunts?
Not really. Should really be used on the round that you use them.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I thought that was the case.
Yeah.
Could you use burst of
I'm
speed?
going to use help them along.
And you use help them along, right? Select the
I
character who
don't
has.
think I need it. I'm way out in front of you all. I'm going.
Right. So help them along. Select a character who has chase points equal to or lower than your own, which is literally everybody else. You slow down to help them along. Divide the number of chase points you gained on this roll equally between yourself and one chosen character. And you gained what was on your stunt dice. You gained 4, so you would increase your chase total to 10 instead of 12, but somebody else would also gain 2 points. If you still choose to use that one.
Right, who's further
Give
who's
it
furthest behind?
to.
Furthest
Aaron. Yeah, I was going to say give it to the ones helping Rabbi, or whatever his name is.
You can only give it to one of them.
Yeah, what I actually wanted to do was to give some. Yeah, I was to give some to Adam and some to
Actually, I will allow that. I'll allow you to give
but
one
I can
to
only
each of
give
them.
the points to one of them.
No,
I
will allow that if you want to try
I'm
that.
going to give 1 point to each of them so that they can.
I was going to suggest, because we're a group.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd rather.
Literally, that's why I'm allowing it. It's because you're acting as a group. So
they're
you
moving.
realise that they're struggling, so you kind of run back and help them along a bit, speed them up until your nerve cracks and you see the creatures coming and you're like, you've helped them a bit, and then you take off, and I will reduce your chase total to 10. And we're about to enter the next segment of the chase, so I still need a roll from Rab, please.
Okay.
Rab's passed this time, and with 2 stunt points, so you can take up to 2 chase stunt points rather, from either the general chase stunts that I've just shown you, or the specific ones that should have just popped up now.
Put both of them into
One without me.
Sorry, what was that you said, Mark?
I'll put both of them into burst of speed.
Burst of speed, right you are. You gain +1 bonus on your next chase test for every stunt point. So on your next chase test, you will get +2 on whatever you rolled. Okay. So, monsters next, and they're lagging behind quite a way, you'll be pleased to hear. Let's see if they continue to lag behind. And that doesn't appear to have rolled, so let me just...
Can't run on a full stamp, mate.
They got an 11.
They did, and it appears to be them that's causing the dice to roll. I'll need to take a look at why it shouldn't be set for that, but never mind. They got an 11, which is, let me check, that is a pass, so they get their first point on the chase. So they're on 1.
Miles away from
So
us.
currently you're all a fair distance away. They're not, if they get within 2 of you on the chase total, they're close enough to attack you. So the closest is Rab, who's still bringing up the rear and is 4 points ahead of him, so he's going to be okay. Okay, so this is the last test for part 1 of the chase. Could we start with Adam, please? And then you'll be rounding another corner at the end of this. And then you'll see something that...
Have you seen a door yet?
You not yet, you don't. You will do on the next.
See another mass of them coming after us. The other way.
You laugh now.
Well, quite.
Laugh now, cry later.
Okay, so Adam, you're struggling a bit this time, and you're just kind of the weariness is getting to you. Yeah, the weight of Reg is getting to you.
Nope.
You're forced to kind of stop for a moment, so you let go of Reg in the hopes that Thomas will be able to carry on a little bit while you quickly try and gasp to
Anyone
get some
want to
breath
take over?
back. And Ben, could I have a
question.
roll for... Yes, go ahead.
You know the med kits? Can
Yes.
can we take a shot of adrenaline from it and just...
No.
No.
Not that kind.
Not quite how it works, unfortunately.
If we could, you not think that Rab would already be able to do
Yeah.
that and had it.
You know that injection goes into your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
so...
heart pumps faster, I'm like the Flash.
So Ben, back on target, please. Thank you. Yeah, okay. You've filled your role as well. This is what you get for distracting yourself. So you're trying to make it, but you can feel your lungs starting to burn. You realise you're not as fit as you thought you were. You can feel yourself slowing down, even despite the panic about these creatures following behind you. Test for Erin now, please. Erin, on the other hand, is very happy to keep moving at the highest possible speed. You have 3 stunt points if you'd like to spend those, and you're now equal to Joe. You're like running past Joe at this very moment. You're kind of shoulder to shoulder. As he slows down and you speed up, he's clearly starting to struggle a bit, not used to all this physical activity, despite what he tried to imply in the bar earlier.
Okay. Can I use chivvy them along?
You
to
can,
help
yes.
Anybody who's behind me.
You can, yeah. So let me just have a look.
Should probably help Rab out.
Yeah, you can use this
Quite
stunt
far
on
behind, I
anyone
think,
who
isn't it?
has a number of chase
guess.
points equal to or less than you. For every stunt point that you spend on this stunt, you may increase the chase pool of the chosen character by 1. So, let's see, you're on 9, which means other than Lizzie, Lizzie and Ben, everybody's currently behind you, so who would you like to give it to?
Who's the furthest behind? Is it Rab?
Rab, yeah.
Would I
Well,
be
the
able to
monsters,
help him?
actually, if you want to help them. Yeah, because you're just chivvying them along, so you're just kind of
No.
yelling at them encouragement. How many points would you like to...
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay. How many points would you like to
Can I
spend
use
on
all
that?
3?
It's a 1 to 2 pointer, I'm afraid, so 2
1
maximum.
to 2.
Yeah.
Right, I'll say 2 then.
Okay.
For that.
So
And then
Rab's
I'll
now
use
gone up
the
to
extra
7.
1 for burst of speed.
Okay, so you get +1 on your next dice roll. to run away from these creatures. Could I have the roll for Thomas now as well, please?
Okay. Go.
Okay, 14. Oddly enough, now that you've taken the weight of Reg alone, you are doing better than you were beforehand. You suspect that you and Adam were just kind of out of step with one another was causing perhaps the issue.
Three-legged race.
Yeah, exactly. So you're now taken off at quite a speed as a consequence. Lizzie, your turn to roll.
She's
That's a pass with 2 stunt points. What would you like to use those 2 stunt points on? You're still out ahead of everybody.
I'm going to chivvy them along.
You're going to chivvy them along. Who would you
with
like
2
to?
points.
Yep. Who would you like to give the 2 points to?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can I give the 2 points to? Is it it's Adam who's had to stop, hasn't
It's
it?
Adam who's
Yeah.
had to stop. Yeah. So you want to give them to Adam? Yeah. That puts him
Yeah,
back on 9.
I'm gonna be shouting at him. Come on, hurry up, hurry up.
just like we were in the gym when we're just doing some warm-ups before our classes.
Exactly. Yeah. So you hear this voice that you're
Barnes,
used to.
you can do it, man.
Oddly enough, it does
Like the two
kind
Arnold
of.
runners.
Yeah, it does kind of enthuse you, and you pick up speed and set off again. You've managed to get your breath back. You start to make a little bit of a difference, pulling ahead of these creatures again. And Rab, you to roll. Remember, you get +2 on this roll.
Yep.
He's still swigging from his bottle of Buckfast, is he?
If he is, it's obviously.
That was good to hear back.
If he is, it's obviously done him some good because he is now tearing up
Yeah.
he's taking a glance over his shoulder. He's seen these things. He's like, ah! And he just hares past everybody, even Lizzie. He's now in front of her as well. He just goes tearing past her,
Oh my
running,
God.
desperately trying not to spill his bottle of Buckfast on the way past. And it is the turn of the monsters. Let me see how they fare.
Badly.
Quite possibly. Yes. Yep, they're kind of spilling out from round the train, tripping over one another. One of them pulls ahead. The others are all kind of lagging behind. Some of them have stopped to eat that person that they caught before. The other person looks over her shoulder, burst of speed on, and this creature just catches up to her. And 3 tentacles whip out, rip her off the ground, and you don't bother to look at the rest. But the screams are mercifully short. However, her expiry did mean that the creatures didn't get any closer to you, and you turn a corner in the tunnel, so they're now out of sight behind you. And a beautiful sight up ahead is exactly what Joe has been talking about.
Joe?
Not Joe, you anyway, Ben.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Up ahead, exactly what you've been asking for is one of the security doors that are embedded in the side of the tunnel. It's coming up on you. So I'm just going to move you over to that map so you will at least be able to see where you died just ahead of reaching it.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do metro drivers carry a key for these type of doors on them?
You don't know. You've got a horrible suspicion.
I'm in
that
their
the answer is
driver's
probably
maintenance, so
They might
Yeah.
have one in their box, but we didn't bring anything with from the cab with us apart from the torch.
That's right, you
The medical
didn't.
kit.
Yeah. So if you did have one,
I
you
see that down
unfortunately-
there.
Yeah, that's the one that's gaining on you. It's actually a lot further back than that. Right, organise yourselves appropriately. I will just check that, and that's fine. So, up ahead, you haven't actually reached it yet, but up ahead you can see what I've shown you on the map, which is that mini platform with the door to the thing. At the end of this set of rolls, you will reach that where you're actually positioned on the map now, and you will be able to move a little bit around that area. So, let me start with Adam. Would you like to give me a chase roll, please?
Yeah.
It's a bit like that TV show, isn't it? The Chase.
It is a bit like that.
Chase is
I
on.
can hear Marie groaning
Actually,
as you
it's
say
more
that. 'Cause-
like
Go on. Go on, Marie. Go on.
yes. It's actually more like Release the Hounds.
It is like
Yeah,
Release the Hounds,
It
yes.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the reason I thought you'd hear Marie groaning is because I subject her to watching several hours of The Chase every night. Okay, so Adam, you have taken off at high speed. You've added 3 to your chase pool, which gives you 13, which means you have now reached... let me just place you exactly where you are. Can't find you. It's going to be tricky. Where have you gone? Adam Taylor, there you are. You've now reached the platform. If you want to be on it, you can. Actually, I'll just leave you where you were, and you guys can move around there normally in just a moment's time. So, Ben, can I have a roll for Joe, please?
Certainly, sir.
As the slowest alien creatures in the world gradually inch their way up the corridor behind you, you manage to somehow still maintain enough fear of them to tear up the corridor. Place yourself 2 squares behind where Adam is, would you please, Ben? And that will show you here.
Like there?
Yeah.
Chris, where are you wanting to be?
I'll put myself on the platform here, and then you can base yourself from.
Yeah,
there.
that's okay. Okay.
Is that-
Roll for Aaron, please.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay. That's where the chase tests get you. Once you're on the platform, we come out of chase time and into action time. Okay, so Aaron, you have 4 stunt points, and you have scored 13, so you're in a line with Adam. You can place yourself in line with Adam anywhere along there, and you have 4 chase stunt points to spend as well.
I would have gotten 15 because I got a total of 14 and I had a +1.
That's right, you
from
did.
the,
In that
Yeah.
case, 1 square ahead of
thing
Adam.
last time.
Place yourself anywhere 1 square ahead of Adam on that roll. That's where you start
Okay.
when we go into action time. Okay,
Okay, so 4 stop points. Let's see. I could use Chivvy them along again. 2 points. Whoever's
yeah.
at the back.
Yeah, you can do that. At the back we have,
Who's
let me see, it is
is
currently
Thomas?
Thomas and, yeah, it's currently Thomas. So you can give him, how many points would you like to give him?
I'll give 2.
2. That brings him and Reg alongside you all. So, Sean, you can
Okay.
go ahead and place yourself and Reg
I'll-
next to Aaron. What would you like to do with the other 2 points?
Can I use that the same stunt but on a different person?
Yes, I'll allow it. You've got plenty of
So-
points.
So
I
I've
don't
got
see why not.
2 points left.
I can't move Reg.
Of course you can't. No, my mistake. There you go.
But I would think it would be in the middle of us there.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah. Yes, I am
Well,
going to
Joe's
allow
at the
that,
back,
Jenny.
isn't
So
he?
if you'd like to,
So
sorry, who's at the back? It would be Ben now.
it's Joe. I think.
Joel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to move him to forward
So I'll give
as
him
well.
the other 2.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, could I have a roll for Lizzie now as well,
Just gonna have to
please?
start calling him Joe Ben.
Yes. Aye. Lizzie, you to roll. Or Marie, you to roll for Lizzie, I should say.
I haven't rolled.
Wow. Oh no, I've just added to you because...
Right, almighty, she got a high roll.
Okay, so Sean, you can go ahead and make a roll for Thomas as well. Marie, you've got 5 stunt points if you want to use them. You have added 5 to your roll, so you are 4 squares in front of Jenny's character.
Everyone, jeez.
Yeah. So Marie, place yourself up to 4 squares ahead of Jenny's character, if you'd like to. And Sean, you also have added 4
I have an
to
idea,
yours.
but I want to talk to the party.
Go ahead. I'll tell you what, let's do Rab's roll first, and then you'll all be collected together on
I have an idea about.
Yeah. So Mark, can you give us Rab's roll?
Right.
And yep, you've passed, and with 3 stunt points. So seeing this door and this little platform has certainly kind of chivied you all on. Right, Marie, go ahead with your plan.
Just push everyone ahead.
Because you've all made it to this platform
Okay.
now.
I want to talk to the party about this first.
Okay.
Right. So I have 5 stunt points. I have incredible speed and fitness. Right? So if you guys can get that door open, I can use come and get me and lead these things off.
Try and open the door. Unless someone has a higher strength.
I mean, it's my speciality, kinda.
Yeah. Well,
Breaking
somebody
into stuff.
somebody open the door then. I've got.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this until I'm sure they're through the door. And while they're on the door, I'm putting on the last, putting on the helmet out of my. I'm putting on the helmet out of my gym bag and chucking my jag because I don't need the extra weight.
Right. Okay.
I'll open the door.
You're going to try and open the door? Okay. Would you like to try and pick the lock or just smash the door down?
Pick the lock so we can close it behind us.
Okay, I'll pick the lock first.
Okay, it will take you a few rounds to do that, but you do have a hell of a head start on these creatures. So, go ahead and give me a dexterity sabotage roll, please. I think I called it Lagornamine out of force of habit earlier because this was called in fantasy, but it's sabotage. And,
Yeah.
What was that, I'm rolling, sorry?
dexterity sabotage. And to get the door open, you need...
That didn't add up properly.
That'd be 12 in total.
It would be a 12 in total. Let me just have a look.
There's something not right about.
Yeah, somewhere about weird.
I think you. Oh no! It would be a 16.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 14. Wouldn't it?
8,
Be
9,
14
10,
because he's
12,
got the 2 for
14.
sabotage as well.
Yeah, he has. So yes, that would be 14.
Yeah.
So that's a definite
Yeah.
success. So
It,
you've managed to pop the
Character
door
sheet.
open. Yeah, it'll be an issue with the character sheet. I'll take a look at it before next week's game because it usually just means you need to overtype. In fact, you could do it now if you wanted, Mark. You can try and overtype the 2 on the character sheet with 2, and that'll actually fix it, even though you're changing one number for the same number. There you go. You managed to get the door open remarkably quickly. What the rest of you see is he takes one look at it and in a strong Glaswegian accent, I'm not going to attempt because I live with a Glaswegian and I want to wake up in the morning. He like disparages the complexity of the lock, just takes out a knife, like a Swiss Army style knife, opens it to the bottle opener, jams that in the lock, twists, and it just pops open. And don't bother to ask me why. I know you can do that. Just take it from me, and do know you can. Beyond it, you see a flight of concrete stairs up to another concrete room inside. Now, we're in action time now, so everybody gets to make a bit of a move around on that map if they would like to. You have, let me just see now, the slowest
Are
of
we
you
doing
is on-
initiative or is it just free roam?
it's just free roam at the moment. It's just like, tell me what you want to do and You can move around as long as you don't
What's
leave
that
the
red
map.
box?
Okay, that red box there's a fire suppression system. It actually looks like a hose, but obviously it's not because it's an electrical line. It's a box with like fire blankets. It's got foam for powder. It's got a powder extinguisher. Several of them actually kind of racked in next to it. And
there's some other things which are off the wall.
Yeah.
those are actually just where the wall's damaged slightly, which is odd because you're pretty sure it wasn't in that bad nick earlier in the day.
Saying there's a red thing and a...
Oh, that there. Sorry, that's the
Grey
fire
thing.
alarm there. And that there, the grey one, is the swipe card for the security card that would have opened the door. If you had one, which you
Right.
don't.
Right.
So that fire alarm would create a lot of noise, yes?
It would, yes.
In the corridor, in the tunnel.
Yes, in the tunnel.
Is that worth activating, do you think, anybody?
Did anyone see?
So
would
to
we
cover
have
the noise
seen-
of us running away.
Would we have seen the fire?
I mean,
You can see the fire
bring
suppression
more of them
box.
here.
Yeah. It would certainly cover the sound of
I'm
people
wanting to
running.
just run in there and get
Okay.
down.
but it might also bring others.
It might
But
also
where-
bring us
yeah,
up.
We don't know what's ahead of us either.
okay. That's
Well, personally, I'm going to run down the stairs and get away.
I would like to know
Up.
Yeah.
what Lizzie's idea
Up the
is.
stairs.
No, we're in.
I'm
Up
running
the
she,
stairs
she
and get
was
away.
going to distract the creatures
Yeah.
while we were fiddling with the door, but we don't need to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
Rab just
we can
opened the
just
door
follow.
so quickly. So
I
not
think
that
we'll
he's
power
dodgy
through the
or
door and
anything.
shut it.
That was basically, that's why I'm,
Are we still quite far ahead? Eh?
that's why
Oh,
I
yeah.
was,
Marie, go ahead, sorry.
Okay. I think we're okay then.
Through the door and up the stairs and
that's
shut
why
the
I
door
was
behind
holding
us.
in the middle of,
Yeah, Marie, please, go ahead.
that's why I was holding in the middle of the track. In case the creatures had a burst of speed and caught us up, I'd lead them off.
Yeah.
But if we're through that door, then I'm not doing that. I'm
Right. Okay.
going to come with you guys.
Yeah, you basically you start running up the corridor, like yelling to get their attention, and as you turn round to like yell and wave your arms in case they're within sight yet, you realise that everybody else is piling through that door because Rab managed to pick the lock with what you would probably describe as suspicious ease. So you decide just to turn round and run back on.
Bryan.
Yep.
I'm going to shout up the corridor. Go on your cell, wee man.
Right,
Hey,
Rab's
Balahan.
Rab's quite pleased because this is like one of his heroes from the parkour team he follows is like cheering him on. She turns around, comes running back, plants her hands on the platform and just flips up and lands and keeps running. Doesn't even break a stride. The rest of you are like, oh yeah, I can see why people would go and watch this. This is amazing. Right, as you run into that room that's on the landing, you notice there are a number of metal lockers along the back end, which look as if they would, it looks as if they'd be every bit as easy for Rab to pick as the main door. But Rab's already started like 2 steps at a time in it up the steps at the far end. You guys decide what you're going to do. I'm going to make another quick bathroom break. I will be back with you fairly quickly. I'll leave you going out to the audience, and I'll just
Is there
kill
any way
mine.
to...
Could
Yeah.
we use them to block the door, maybe?
No, if we push the door closed again,
Yeah.
will it just
Yeah, well-
automatically lock?
I guess it depends if
It'll
it's
be a big,
damaged,
heavy door as well.
And if we're quiet, the creatures might continue running. We don't know if they're dumb.
Yeah, if they didn't see us.
That's nice.
Well, depends on if it.
It depends on how they.
Track.
Sorry, Jenny, you go ahead.
No, it's all right. I was just pretty much gonna say it depends on if the lock's broken, but we can just test it quickly by shutting it.
Yeah. I would also say whether or not the creature's follows is going to depend on two things.
Mhm.
The first thing is which sense they navigate by, because if they navigate using their eyes and they did zero in on Joe when he shone the torch on them, then if
Yeah, they
we're in
did. So
darkness, if we knock everything off, then they
Mhm.
might struggle more to see us. If they navigate by sound, it depends how good their hearing is. I mean, if they've got
Mhm.
particularly good hearing, for example, a big cat tracking you can hear your heart
Yeah.
and can smell the sweat on your skin.
I think what we should
So it
do,
really
if
does
these lockers
depend on.
aren't.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sorry, Marie. Um.
Mhm.
Okay, I
No,
was
no, go
thinking
ahead,
we
Ben.
could
I was just
barricade the
musing.
door somehow. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking we
I
could
think
barricade the
probably
door
what we should do is
somehow,
try
like
and
get the
shut it.
lockers if they're not fixed, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
I would
Just
like to
think-
loot them to see if there's anything usable as well.
Have to be quick.
That would reduce their
Thought that
integrity
was
of
Rab's job.
He's gone ahead though, hasn't he? Now
Mm-hmm.
we do have Joe here though.
look! If Rab isn't stopping to rob the locker,
We do have Joe, but we
We
don't
do
actually
have
know
Joe.
his occupation
We-
as yet. So
Well, I think the first
My
thing.
occupant.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna ramble. It's fine.
there's a
You
3-second
talk.
delay. So.
I know. I think the
Yeah.
the delay is getting everybody, isn't it? All right.
Cool.
Okay, I am back.
Um,
Let's have a look now.
I would, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
but like hold the door off with the lockers as you said, and
Yeah, they're not
we'll
fixed.
check the door first to see if it can actually
Yeah.
lock.
Yeah. See if it'll lock. If it doesn't, we could put. If we can move the lockers, we could use them to block the
Hey,
door.
why not both?
Yeah,
Could do.
okay.
Oh, Marie says everything's gone quiet for her.
Okay, can everybody else still hear me?
She's no longer in the call.
I can hear you, Brian.
Okay, 2 seconds.
Yep.
Alexa, drop in on Marie's sitting room.
Oh, you've come out of the call. Marie has, should I say?
Yeah. Hello, Pat. You seem to have come out the
So
call.
cool. It's back.
Does Joe have an item on him that could open these lockers?
Alexa, drop out. Right, sorry. So Marie's back in the call, I think, now, yes?
I don't
Yes.
know what happened there. It just went quiet.
I don't know, it just seemed to boot
Weird.
you out of the call. I did wonder if it was our internet had dropped, because obviously I'm also using the 5G booster, so I wouldn't necessarily have gone down. But I'm still able to view the security camera, which is on my phone and isn't on the booster, so yeah, apparently not. And having said that, I think we've just
to answer
lost
your
the...
question.
Yeah,
You what?
I think we might have I've just had a bing, and yeah, OBS dropped out, but it's come back on now, so we are back online. Although I'm still getting a warning
Okay.
light.
Epic.
So, yeah, we're back now. No, gone again. Yeah, it looks like we're having trouble with our...
Clearly, it's that time of night.
yeah, looks like...
With your connection.
Yeah.
You want to give it a quick restart? It might fix the delay as well.
There's no such
Potentially.
thing as a quick restart on our...
We'd split the stream.
yeah.
Very true.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down some other stuff that might be draining our broadband. The security camera won't be necessary at this time of night. I'll just shut that down. Turn my phone off. There we go. That should have us. We're slow, but we're there.
And to answer your question, Adam, yes. I
Right.
do.
And
We do have tools to open the lockers.
I have lockpicks, yeah.
Yes. So, Rab's hot-footing it up the stairs, and now you discovered there is a second person in this group that can apparently pick locks. You're beginning to wonder what kind of people you're hanging out with.
Brian,
Yes.
What's this incredibly handsome, good-looking,
Bryan?
absolutely stunning guy doing with the ability to pick locks?
Sorry, Marie, go ahead.
Can you move Reg off the platform and among the rest of us, please? Because we haven't just like dropped him and left.
All right, sorry, yes.
Poor guy.
Here is our sacrifice to you, great
Yeah.
elder gods of the Cthulhu universe. Yeah, no.
Okay. So, what are you actually trying to do?
Barricade the door.
Okay.
Well, see if it'll lock first. If it doesn't, use the.
Let me just check. Yes, Rab
thingies
scored
to
high
help.
enough that he's picked the lock without damaging it, so somebody can pick the lock shut again.
Ah, okay.
So, since...
I'll do that.
Okay.
Right, okay, yeah. It's a dexterity sabotage roll to re-pick the lock.
Then
Okay. Can I get any bonus because I have lockpicks, essentially?
No, you
don't
would
actually
suffer a
have
penalty if
sabotage.
you didn't have them.
No, I do have
mean-
lockpicks. I just
Yeah,
don't have
I know
some.
you
Really?
do.
Wow,
I'm saying
fantastic.
you would suffer a
could
penalty if you didn't. You don't get a
shout, Rab.
bonus for having them. Right, okay.
I see.
You're having no luck at all, even though Rab found this to be a very simplistic lock. You're actually used to more complicated locks, and embarrassingly, you just can't quite figure out. You're missing things that should be there. So, do you call Rab
Shout
back?
Rab over.
Yeah.
I
Have
will.
Oh, wee man, come and sort this out.
Mark, you still there?
I'll go back over and lock the door.
Right, you are. Make another lockpick roll. I'm going to reduce the target number because you've already picked this lock once. Even if you fail, you will get it locked. It will just take you longer. So that's
Yeah.
dexterity
I'll wait till
sabotage.
he's relocked it and then get it going.
You
Oh,
wait till he
wow.
relocks it and then do what? Sorry.
I'm going to heckle him. I'm going to say to him, "What are you like? What would your ma say? Were you born in a barn? Shut the fucking door."
it's 20 with 5.
Okay, so you close the door, relock it really quickly. Everything that's happened since you arrived at the platform has taken just about 3 minutes, which means the creatures are still quite a
Whoa.
distance behind you. So what would you like to do next?
Am I able to grab one of the lockers and prop it up against the door just to reinforce it?
What's your strength?
Good question.
Isn't it? Could I get a good answer?
It's 1. So
Yep, that's above average. So you're struggling with it a bit, but you can do it. If somebody else with a strength of 1 or higher wants to help, you'll find that you're not struggling with it
No
any
help.
longer. Okay, so you two kind of walk the locker over to the stairs and then just shove it down the stairs. It bounces down the stairs, buckling a bit as it goes, and then jams itself in the corridor at the bottom, sort of flush up against the door, so that anything trying to get through the door
Guessing
now,
Rab got out the way.
yeah, anything trying to get through the door now would have to smash the door apart. It would take them several rounds to do that.
A while.
Yes. So that buys you still more
We
time.
take a look.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Loot the
Should
other
we take a
lockers.
look in the lockers? Yeah.
You can do. Now, I'm still going to ask
find
Rab
an assault
to
rifle.
make, or whoever wants to do it, to make a roll. You will definitely get it open, but if you failed rolls, it's just going to take you longer, and your lead ahead of the creatures will reduce. So anybody who would like to pick the locks open, go ahead and try.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay. So between the pair of you, you're picking lockers open left, right, and centre. And what you find inside of those lockers, I'll get rid of that now, and I can open the maintenance area lockers instead. Let's have a look. What do you find in them? Right, okay. There's uniforms, hard hats, and toolkits for the maintenance crew. The toolkits
Take a
include
toolkit.
things... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to take a toolkit.
Right, you are. You make a note that you're making a toolkit. Anybody who wants to take improvised weapons should be able to as well. There are at least 2 sledgehammers, so let's start there. Who would like to take a sledgehammer?
Yes. I shall.
Okie dokie. Let me just bring up the stats for sledgehammer. Oh God, now that old
Check
song
it,
from
my
the
chap.
80s is in the is in me head.
Oh no.
Aye.
Can I
Oh,
take the end of the sledgehammer off and use it as a pole? Because I'm more efficient with that.
You could if nobody else wants a second sledgehammer. Yes, you can. I'll start that up as a baseball bat for you then.
Hello?
So just hello.
Right, just come back.
Right.
So we should have quizzed the driver on what was in the lockers, or did we?
Well, you know what's in the lockers. You've got them open now. Yeah. I'm just starting up the
'cause
weapon,
that's what,
improvised
was
weapons that. But the driver could tell you
anyone
it
else want a
was
sledgehammer?
probably toolkits and uniforms for the thing. So let me just find the stats on these improvised weapons. So, Chris, your sledgehammer
Yes.
becomes a baseball bat. So it is 1d6 plus 2 damage plus your strength. Okay. That does impact stunning damage. Okay. And Rab, your sledgehammer does 2d6 plus 3 plus your strength. And that does impact wounding damage. So if you'd like to go ahead and add those to your character sheets.
I have,
Anything like-
but I can change the damage. The damage needs to become 2d6 plus 6.
2d6 plus 6, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you need me to do that, did you say?
Yeah, it won't let me change it.
Interesting. Right, okay. Just give me a
'Cause
second.
I entered the sledgehammer in the weapons section for like the rolls and damage,
Mhm.
and it automatically assigned roll and damage to it, and it won't let me change them.
Oh, how interesting. Right, okay. Let me just find your character sheet. Yep, sledgehammer, and that should be, do you have fighting? Yes, so that should be 2. And you also have 2d6 plus 6 damage. There you go, that's it in now. Okay,
Awesome, there you go.
Pretty decent.
it's not bad at all, is it? Other than that, the 2 sledgehammers, there's a few like lighter hammers in there as well, if other people want them.
Ah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yes.
Yes, I want to take a hammer if I can.
Okay, so the hammer does 1d6 impact wounding damage. Tell me if you have any trouble putting
Yeah, I'll
that
take
in
a
your
hammer
character
as well.
sheet. You're going to take a hammer as well? Okay, that's 1d6 impact wounding damage. Anybody else want to take anything from a toolkit they could later try and use as a weapon?
Is it just 1d6, or are we adding any
Sorry,
stats on
add your strength.
Strength.
Add your strength.
it? Okay.
And your chance to hit should
Right.
be equal to your fighting. So if you've got 2 fighting,
short half
then
to
it would
3,
be
yeah.
2. Yeah.
Just gonna do a test roll.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks right. Okay. And you're
And the
doing
damage.
short-hafted staff.
With aim.
Right, so, yeah.
Yeah, man, haven't moved.
Sorry?
Big test.
Right, okay. Is everybody happy? You're all tooled up
I'm
now,
having
eh?
trouble putting the right damage.
You are as well. That's interesting. Okay.
Bryan, could you put the
Yeah,
right
just
damage?
give me a second while I find your
It won't let me
character
change
sheet.
it.
That's okay. I'll sort it. So Adam Aaron, there we go.
Thank you.
So Aaron, and what was the weapon you picked? Hammer. So it would be your excuse me, fighting,
yeah.
which is 1, and it would. What did I just say the damage was going to be? 1d6 plus your strength of 0, so it's 1d6. 1d6. Okay, so you're all tooled up, sort of.
Great. Cute.
So what would you all like to do now?
What's out the
Lead
other
on
door?
slyly.
Sorry, say that again.
Need to get going.
I'm back to getting out of here.
Right, you are. Okay, you head up those stairs and find yourself in an area with other sets of stairs, which turn at a slight angle. So I say slight; it's a 90-degree angle, which is a touch more than slight, really. As you head up towards that, you find yourself at the top of it. There is another door. This door also appears to be locked. However, it's not going to take Rab or Joe long to pick that lock open. So I'm not going to ask for a dice roll. You're no longer under any stress. The creatures that were following you are so far behind and will have likely gone the wrong way that you can spend as much time as you like picking the door lock open. You eventually do manage to get the door open and emerge outside into, I should say, the station, you think. So let me just place you
Okay.
in the station.
And hopefully the station is completely deserted of both people and monsters.
That's what you'd want it to be, isn't it? So the door opens up in one of the corridors to the side of the station. I'm just going to move you into where you come out because the door is underneath the red emergency light. So I'm just moving you over there. And once I've done that, I'll bring you all over. There we go. Now, drag you. There you go. So, you find
How
yourself
is our driver at this point?
still injured, still hurt. He's in a little bit of a bad way, but it could be a lot worse. He is limping heavily, is bleeding a bit, and he is looking absolutely terrified, as one might expect. You still feel you really need to get him to a professional medic of some description, because although you've patched him up a bit, you have you don't have like the full medical facilities that you'd kind of like him to have. Now there should be some sound effects here. I just can't spot them.
Yeah, I can hear some music.
Yeah, but that's back-end music. What I'm looking for is the sound effects that I've recorded for this. So I'll just close that.
People screaming and dying.
Where the hell's it at? Oh, under the sound
There's
effects.
a camera crew.
Under the sound effects
It
tab,
was all a
I should
game show.
imagine.
It was all a prank.
Right, okay. So you can hear what sounds like announcement.
Are being evacuated due to
Jesus.
an incident on the line. Please leave the station immediately in a calm, orderly fashion. Staff and officers from Northumbria Police will meet you at the surface.
All stations are being evacuated due to an incident on the line.
Ambulances
Please
are on
leave
their
the
way.
station
Please
immediately
leave
and in a calm, orderly fashion.
Paramedics may need to
Staff
enter
and
as you
officers from Northumbria Police will meet you at the surface to usher you away from the
I
incident.
love how British it is. We
Ambulances are on
apologise
their
for this
way.
inconvenience.
Yes.
Please leave in an orderly fashion as
Funny you should
paramedics
say
may
that.
need to
Thank you
enter
for your
as
patience
are
and
leaving.
cooperation.
Enter apologises for for the
On
inconvenience.
Facebook, you need to look up the page Metro Apologises.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you all like to do now?
Yeah.
Sneak. I want
I'm
to
going
sneak.
to look to.
Stations are being evacuated.
I'm going to look around to see if I can see any emergency services here.
Okay.
Mhm.
From where you are, you can't. No. Somebody said they were
All
going to
stations
sneak.
are
If...
being
Any
evacuated
of-
due to an incident on the line.
Yes, Joe
Please leave the
wants to
station
sneak and have a
immediately
peek
in a calm,
around
orderly
everywhere.
fashion.
Because
Okay.
I spy
Staff and
something
officers
there, but I
from
don't know what it
Northumbria
is.
Police will meet you at the surface
Hopefully
to
it's
usher
a
you away
person.
from the incident. Ambulances are on their way. Please leave in an orderly fashion, as paramedics may need to enter as you are leaving.
So, should I
Metro
roll?
apologise
Yes,
Am I able
please.
to
for
do
the
that?
inconvenience.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Let me just see what you scored.
19.
Crikey, right, yes, move yourself around a bit. You are silent as a
All
ghost.
stations are being
I
evacuated
wanted
due to
to.
an incident
Oh,
on the
it's one of those.
Please leave the station
Well then.
immediately.
Yes,
and
now let's see if
I'm
it's
gonna-
spotted you. Hang on,
Staff
let's
and
see if it's
officers from
spotted you.
Northumbria
And I
Police
fired you.
will meet you at the surface.
I wanted to
Not
sneak
usher
into
trying
the
you
to-
pillar
away
and
from
check
the
out that.
incident.
Yeah.
Ambulances are on
If
their way.
anyone's going to like peek
Please
around the
leave
corner
in
after
an
me,
orderly
I will
fashion,
visually tell
as
you to not go this
paramedics may
way.
need to
There's one of
enter
those
as you are
squid
leaving.
things.
Okay,
You
so
mean you wave your hands about a bit?
yeah, let's see if
But
it's
that thing's.
spotted you. Where the hell's it popped up? There it is.
Please tell me you've called it like a jelly walker because it kind of looks like a jellyfish.
Man of War. They've been
Like a
called.
Portuguese man of war.
Ah,
Yeah. Okay.
Would anyone know
Okay.
basic motions? Like, like,
So Ben, you
Signals.
scored 19. The creature hasn't spotted you. No. So as you creep in, you can see it's actually searching for people. So its tentacles are kind of thrashing out a bit, and it stops every now and again. And the sort of ray type head looks round like it's scanning. You can hear it.
bit like those squids on the Matrix.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
entirely dissimilar. What would everybody else like to do? You can see Joe's like waving at you. Get down, get down.
Can we have a peek around this corner?
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of.
Yes, which corner are you peeking around, sorry?
I'm gonna...
Look up the platform.
Yes, okay. Looking up the platform, you can't see anything in the direction sort of north of you, but back the way you came, you can't see anything yet because they're still a long way behind you.
We've not come up a couple of levels or something.
You have come up a couple of, well, yes, you've come up what you would say would be about a level or two, yep. So,
And this thing here's a seat, is it?
yes it is. Sorry, that thing there, no, it's a drinks dispenser. The seats are the green things in the middle there. The blue and grey things are the food and drink dispensers. Vending machines.
Right. So this is a small platform on at this end.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing around this area.
No.
So if I was to go around the drinks machine carefully.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then take a peek along that way.
Yep. You should be able to
I
see.
can see the thing.
Yes. Let's see if it can see you. Can I have a dexterity stealth roll from you, and I'll do another searching roll from it.
I'm just going to be peeping out anyway, but
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
you get
So if it
plus.
spots me, just spotting.
You get +3.
Okay. 18 in total.
18. It got. Come up yet? It got. Oh,
But
19.
we've got so many sixes, haven't we?
And with 6 stunt points, so it's aware of the fact that you're not alone. So it sees you, its head whips round, it looks straight at you with all 6 of the eyes in the front of its horrible, sort of fishy
Can I do
frontage.
something when he does that?
Depends what you'd like to do. Go ahead.
Wait.
What would you like to do?
Because it might actually run down the corridor towards me.
I was wanting to distract it. I was wanting to like throw
But-
something in the other direction, maybe distract it for a brief second, and then you guys can go hide.
Okay, well, seeing as there's a lot of people wanting to do stuff,
Okay,
well,
then,
two
have
of you, the creature and you, let us roll for initiative. I'll just bring up the turn order. If you'd like to make sure that you have your token selected, and then roll initiative, please. And that should put it straight in the dice roller, in theory.
Whoop. Oh well, not very good. Better than that though.
Okay. Okay, so far I have Joe, the monster, Elizabeth, Thomas, Erin. So who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Missing Rab. Just checking to see. Go ahead, Chris.
Would I understand? Would I see anything peculiar about these with my background?
Well, you haven't seen it yet.
I mean, this is a pre-question, just in case it comes up.
Right. Yes.
Background in plants.
Yeah, these are actually animals, so probably not.
No, it's not that. It's just plants includes parasites. So
yeah, this isn't either of those. So I don't seem to have. Oh, wait a minute. It might have gone in there now. There's something else. Nope. Okay, so I don't seem to have Rab's initiative. Mark, could you give us a roll for Rab's initiative? Mark? Mark? You're still there?
we haven't got an oceanographer or someone.
Right, okay. I'm not getting any response from Mark. Jenny, are you still there? Yes, you are, because I can hear you laughing. Right, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I will see if I can get hold of him.
It's all right if he's nodded off again. We'll just we'll assume he's cowering in a corner. I will reorganise everybody who's rolled, and we'll see who gets to go first. So, Sean, having seen that this thing's looked at you, that's kind of spurred you up a bit. You get to go first. What would you like to do?
I'm going to hold my action.
Okay, you hold your action. Adam, what would you like to do?
I don't know which way, because I can't see it. I don't know which way.
Well, you know that he's waving from down that end.
No, which way you went.
He went.
I went round the corner.
He went round the corner that's just behind you.
Okay.
I want to know what Sean's plan is here before I act, because I don't want to mess it up.
It's all right, don't worry about it. Your characters can't communicate with each other without giving away the fact that you're there. So if you spoil his plan, that's just how things would pan out in these circumstances.
I am going to move the driver to one of the, maybe round the corner here or on one of the seats.
Right, you are. You get the driver over to one of the seats and place him down there where you hope he'll be safe whilst whatever's going on goes on. Marie, Lizzie to go. What would you like to do?
I too am going to hold my action. I'm going to sort of sneak forward a little bit.
Okay. You can move yourself a little way.
And see what the others are doing.
Okay. Peering round the corner, you can see that Thomas is peering round another corner and has got his hand out to warn you that there's something there. He's seen something. And Ben, what would Joe like to do?
I'd like to throw something that would make a loud noise away over like this direction kind of way, just to distract the creature. Maybe it'll get bored, or maybe it'll give Sean enough time to go hide.
Okay, decide what you're throwing and then make an accuracy roll for me.
Well, what can I roll? I mean, my hammer, and I'll be defenseless.
Yes.
Apart from my sharp locks.
You've got your briefcase.
Of course.
I do have my briefcase, but it has got quite a bit in it. I've got a stethoscope on me. I could throw that.
Yeah, okay.
I will throw my stethoscope. Are you wanting accuracy, did you say?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Or...
I very much doubt you have the throw
stethoscope
skill roll. Okay, so you take your stethoscope out, you go to throw it, and as you do, you let go too soon, and it just it lands about sort of here instead, which the creature would be passing over on its way to attack the person it's seen anyway. So that was your major action. Do you have a minor action you would like to try and use?
What minor action can I do again?
Movement is a
Eyes?
minor action. Yeah, you can
Cry?
stay hidden. Cry. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Erin, to go. What would she like to do?
I'll do both. Yeah.
Right, you hide and cry.
I'm gonna make sure I've got my hammer ready. I'm gonna see if I can get a signal on my phone.
Okay.
Good idea.
Am I able to do that?
Yes, you can get a signal now.
And unfortunately, it's on speakerphone. All those alarms start going, your phone starts ringing.
No!
So you've managed to get a signal.
I'll make sure it's on mute.
Right, okay.
Right, okay. So it's on. I'll make sure it's on mute, and I'm
Yes.
gonna send a text
To-
messages to
Yep.
my dad and my little brother,
Mhm.
asking them if they know what's happening and explaining what's going on here.
Okay.
Just briefly.
You-
And asking if they're okay.
Okay, you
Giant
type up
squid
those
killing
text.
everyone. BRB.
You type out those text messages and hit send. When it gets back to your go, remind me, and I'll tell you whether you've had an answer or not. Then, and every turn, you can remind me again until you
Okay.
either get an answer or I tell you that you're definitely not getting one at that point. Okay.
Okay.
So that's your action for the
Quick
round.
question is,
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, point of the game
Yeah.
is if that thing starts to move towards me at any time, can I interrupt its turn to carry out my action?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. And that was very prophetic in point of fact, because it is about to move in your direction. It's going to take off at the run. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just tell me when you want to interrupt it. So its
Jesus.
Now.
first action is now. Go ahead.
Right. I take it it's going to move again towards me. Well,
Yes, it will.
actually,
It
I
will
don't
use
know.
its second action to come at you as well.
Yeah, which is, and was that its major or its minor action? Or I not know.
You don't know. You don't know. It seems a lot faster than the ones that were chasing you in the tunnels, but that could be because it can see clearly what it's doing, and they couldn't.
Right. This is the thing. Do I move now, or do I let it get a bit closer and then run?
It's up to you.
We're gonna try and lead it away.
I would run.
See, this is the problem. The idea was
If I were
to
you,
lure it down the corridor and run round the corner,
Yeah.
and then tell everybody to leg it. But he's deposited the driver on a seat.
Yeah.
So
If
it's
you want
like,
to do that, you might be able to get them up in time. But you kind of deposited him in the middle of the hall.
well, he was better off where he was, but never mind. Anyway, in that case, I am going to move from where I am.
Yep.
Then.
Yep.
Can I do this all as one action? In effect, is to actually take my mobile phone.
Yeah.
Put a 10-second delay on it with a loud alarm and throw it.
Yes. I will allow you
over
to
in this direction.
do that as a major action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'm going to move round this corner.
Okay, so your movement will have to be a minor action, so bear that in mind in the distance that you cover. Could you also give me an accuracy roll just to see how far this phone deviates from where you think you're throwing it?
I'm going to talk. Well, no, actually, I'll slide it across the floor.
Okay, right. You slide it across the floor, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. It slides across the floor, bounces off one of the legs of the seating here, spins round and lands pretty close to where you wanted it. And you can move yourself.
Right, okay. Move myself.
Yep. So your minor action
Sorry,
was to move,
lost
so go
the
ahead.
sound there.
Yeah, you can move yourself. Your minor action was to
My
move.
minor action is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That way.
Okay, so as
So
you
it's
went
seen me
that
cross the
yeah.
corridor.
It's not smart enough to just turn round, so it will come this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's going to have to try and figure out which way you went. It knows you kind of went. It saw you go north, so
Up that way.
it'll follow that. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's bearing down on you at high speed. As it comes around that corner, its tentacles lashing out around it. It's bearing down on you quite alarmingly fast. And it's the next round, and it's you to go again.
Exactly.
Yes. What would you like to do?
Right. From where I am, which way is the exit?
From where you are, it's ahead and to the left, where you'll see it when you get in, because it's 2 escalators and a flight of stairs.
Right. The escalators are taken and not working.
The escalators are currently... They are working, yes. So once you're on them, you'll continue to move.
Right, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, which is the escalator.
Keep going.
4, 5,
over this way.
6, 7. Which one's up?
Let's see if I can remember.
Left one's always up, isn't it?
It's left, yeah.
Left, it's usually left, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for my minor action.
Yeah.
Would my phone have gone off by now?
Yes, it will have done. So your
Loudly
phone's
behind it.
loudly going off behind it, yeah, in an attempt to distract the creature from everyone else. So that's your minor action. What's your major action?
This is the point of where I just basically keep running.
Right. You keep running and up the escalator onto the main concourse above and burst out onto the street outside. You headed for... you went the direction you were heading, so you're at Haymarket then. So you burst out into Haymarket, you come sort of hearing up the escalator and out. As you come out onto the main street, you can hear sirens going off everywhere. You can see loads of people just milling about in the street, looking up at the sky, because the sky has gone purple. It's like glowing purple. It's almost like the Aurora Borealis, but it's not quite it. Make a willpower self-discipline test, please, or willpower courage, whichever you prefer.
Willpower. I don't have either, but you know.
Okay, willpower test will be fine then.
Hey, willpower test. 9.
Okay, whatever that is, you know it's not a natural effect. It's not the northern lights that are suddenly unusually visible this far south, if you could call us south. It's something else. It's got to be connected to whatever those... yeah, it's got to be connected to whatever those things are behind you. Add 1 point of fear, please. And it is now Adam Taylor to go. What would you like to do, Chris?
As I probably see what he is doing, I guess I'm going to have to take on the whole strength of this man and try and make a plan up with Lizzie to get us out.
Okay. So you grab Reg out of the seat. You manage to hoist him up into your arms and continue to try and get him away to safety. That'll be a major action. You can still move with a minor action if you'd like to.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, you can. You're close enough to him that you
Only
can.
like within close range to be talking to each other.
Yeah.
Right, how good's your strength, Chris? Because you could fireman's lift him. It'd be the
It's
easiest
2.
way.
It should be okay. Should be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got yeah.
Your
Yeah.
fireman's
Still be
lift
able
him
to fight
over
as
your.
well, 'cause we're fighting.
Yeah, your fireman's lift him over your shoulder. He cries out in pain because he's got a wound in his abdomen. It's not a serious wound, but it's enough that hurt a bit. So you'll be able to.
Okay.
You'll be able to walk with him. You will be a little bit slower, but not as hugely burdened because you did say your strength was 2, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you can move half your movement if you would like to as well.
Okay. My movement is okay. 6 steps. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm gonna go this way.
There's a phone going off over here loudly.
Yeah.
You might want to take cover.
Okay, so you're headed. Okay.
I'm going to suggest, Chris, that you head for the escalator.
I don't know where that is.
It's up these corridors to
Probably
the
been to
right.
the station before.
Yeah, you will have been to
It's
the
up here.
station before. It's
Okay.
Haymarket Station. Yeah.
Left. It would be your left.
In fact,
if you're
that
coming
being
out
the
of
I've not
case-
seen this monster yet, so I don't even know where it is.
No, that's true. You don't know where the creature is. That's the main problem. Okay, so you carry him in
But
a
he was
final.
actually. I was going to say he was actually in this space here,
Mhm.
and he saw that they would have seen the creature go round the corner after me.
Yeah, you must have done it. Would have passed you. Would have passed you earlier.
Not with the lighting, I didn't.
You should have done it. Would have passed within 2 squares of you. But that's
Was the monster on the left or the right? 'Cause I thought it was just ahead of Ben.
I'll tell you where it's gone. Right, you should have seen it do this. It came along here. Wait, oh, sorry, that's a box. Let me get that back into freehand. It went up there and it went down this corridor this way.
Yeah.
We're not the escalator. I actually don't know where it is.
You've
escalator's
lost
like
sight of it.
silver.
You've no idea where it is.
That's the platform back that way.
Yeah. The escalators are over on the right of the screen at the top. Right, you're currently running up the passageway towards. Hello, you've disappeared.
Oh,
You
it's
haven't
done that because I had control of Chris. It's deleted him. And it's going to remove the.
I've been deleted. I'm dead.
Sorry.
Thanos snap.
Let me have a look then.
Yeah, put him back in. I do apologise.
So it went along the corridor that you went along, so I should
Yes.
really be going the lower corridor then.
Yes, you would have seen it go round that corner up the top.
I'll go 6 spaces to the lower corridor then. Now I know bearings. So I was here, so I'll go 1, 2, 3. I'll go to here, and then our guy would have come with me as well.
Yes, he'll go.
So I've got him on my shoulders.
Okay, where the hell are you?
The plan was to lead it out into the street so you could all get out.
Okay.
Marie, it's you to
But
go.
we have to go up in the streets, or is there a different way out?
No, Haymarket I don't think has one way out. So,
In a
Marie,
moment
you
of
to go.
realization, I make that decision.
Marie to go.
Right, I'm going to come out here.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to. I'm going to come out here.
Mhm.
I'm going to see it if I can see the monster's going round one of these corners.
It's
yeah.
gone round one of those 2 corners, but you
Yeah.
don't know which one.
I don't know which one.
No.
Okay. I'm just thinking. I haven't been cut off or anything.
Right.
Okay, I think probably the best bet right now is to try and get that driver to safety.
Mhm.
So, I'm going to go up this way,
Okay.
looking to see where Sean's laid it off to.
Right, there it is. Also, there's an alarm
Yeah.
phone there.
This is it here, I take it?
Yeah. Yep, that big
Okay.
monstrous looking thing in the gold circle, that's it there.
Right.
It's about 2.5 meters tall. It has multiple tentacles coming out the bottom, and it looks a bit like a manta ray mounted on top of the tentacles, but has 6 eyes, 3 on each sort of side of the front of its face, if you could call it a face. So, that was your
Lovely.
Right, okay.
minor action. What would you like to do with your major action? Bearing in mind, if you're feeling really brave, you're within charging distance of it.
Fuck no. I'm just trying to figure out where Sean went.
Up the escalator.
You went up here.
You would have heard me clattering on the escalator, probably.
Yeah.
Going bump,
Yeah.
bump, bump up the escalator, I would have thought.
He's going to need to push you a little bit for a...
What I'm going to do then is, yeah, I'm going to hold my action because if that moves,
You're
then
gonna
I'm going to
twat.
draw it off.
Okay, right, yeah. Okay, so, Ben, what would you like to do?
I am going to hold the action until I see the creature.
Fuck's sakes, anybody going to do anything? Right, okay. Erin to go, what would she like to do? Swear to God, if you say hold your action.
Right, well, I
No, you
don't
can
have
if
a
you want to.
clue.
You can if you want to.
No, I'm not.
No, this
I
is the
don't
problem.
have a clue what
Half of you haven't actually
everyone's
seen it,
actually
so you've
doing.
no idea what's going on. It's dissolved into chaos a little bit. So
Yeah.
what would you like to do?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
Good question.
whisper to.
Did she get an answer?
No, not yet.
What?
Text
On your phone, you
messages.
didn't get an answer on your text messages.
I haven't. I'm gonna check that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll check it in a minute anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whisper to Adam and say, I think we just need to make a run for it. And I'm gonna have a peek around this corner.
Yeah. So that's your minor action, is to
See
peer
if I
around
can
that
see
corner.
anything that
Yep.
looks like one of those creatures.
Just move you out
If it
one
seems
more
clear.
just so you can see it. Looks clear. That's your minor action you've used to find that out.
Okay, and I want to try and make a run for the escalator then.
Okay, so your major action is to run for the
Um,
escalator. So that shouldn't be too hard. You can make a movement up to double your speed.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be going to like about here then.
Yeah, that seems about right. So do you want to place yourself there? Okay.
So I'm like, see ya.
Right, so you race up the escalators,
Oops.
trying to get away. Was that Mark's voice I just heard? No, right.
Yeah, that
okay.
was me. I was
Ah,
just
right.
asking what the speed was.
Right.
Mark's not on the turn order still.
Mine's
Yeah, Mark's not on
11.
the turn order because we're
You'd
not
be able
getting
to
a
get
response from Mark. There's no
Effectively,
point.
you'd be able to get 22 spaces.
Yeah.
You'd be able to get further
Yeah.
than that.
I know, but I don't want to because I want to crouch down and see if anybody else is following.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go too far.
Yeah.
You're
Because
slowly going up.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to be
sneak my way up.
gesticulating.
Every round you'll
Anyone
go.
can see me, I'll be gesticulating for them to follow.
Yeah. Every round you'll
Okay.
be going one square up, even if you don't move, because the escalator will be moving. you
Yeah.
Until you
Like,
get
I
to-
don't literally want to just leg it and leave everybody behind.
Aye.
I'm going to be like, you know, trying to show people, hurry up. sort of thing.
It would be Sean next, but
And
he's
yeah,
already out. So hold on a second. Where's the beastie gone? I think I've just gone straight past it. Hold on.
Is that the end of the turn?
Not
No.
yet.
No.
You've gone past the beastie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the beastie's to go and then it's end of turn.
Yeah. Okay. So beastie
I
to go.
held my action until I saw it because
Yes, I know. And you. So what it can actually clearly see Marie's character, so it's going to come after you. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, It's going to catch up with you on with 4 movement unless you do anything about it. You do have a held action, so you can either try and outrun it, or you can just try and twat it.
I'm going to try and outrun it, but I'm going to try and go up that use my parkour and everything to bounce past it up that corridor.
Up the corridor it came down. Up the corridor it came down.
Up the corridor it came down, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yep.
You can do one of them.
Yep.
Flip off the wall like Prince of
Yeah,
Persia.
I wondered. I couldn't remember the name for it, but it's it's like a crazy Ivan. I run at it and then I miss and go up the corridor behind where it came down.
Yep. So you go running in at it as if you were about to attack it. So it kind of braces ready for an attack, and then you kind of cartwheel past it and round. This is going to be tricky. So what I'll do is it will make an attack, but you will gain. You make a dexterity athletics roll for me, and instead of your usual defense, it will have to beat that. I think is the way I'm going to go about this. Unless your usual defense would have been higher, obviously, in which case it'll go for that instead. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. So you basically
that's identical to my defense.
Okay. So you try and make your way past tentacles. I'm going to say doesn't get to aim because this has taken it completely by surprise. And let's see. 15 has managed to hit you, unfortunately. So as you run, you zip up round it, hit the wall, run up the wall and down, but it's got so many tentacles that one of them lashes out and thwacks you on the back, doing you... Let me see now. 2 points of damage. Literally the lowest amount it could have got.
Hey, well.
You can reduce that by your toughness. Which means I've got a strong suspicion you didn't take any damage.
My toughness is 3.
Yeah. So you can feel it whack you on the back, but it's just like playing chase tag as far as you're concerned. It's no harder than one of the opposing team just tagging you.
Aye.
Okay. You almost come to a stop just out of force of habit.
I will shout a string of expletives. Yeah.
Okay, so move yourself to wherever you...
I'm going to shout a string of expletives if I'm running away from it.
All right, yeah. So move yourself up to your speed away from it, please.
I'm just going to check what my speed is, sorry.
Yeah.
Should know it.
It's okay.
Speed's 14.
Right, so you can move yourself up to 14
so
squares.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then it's
7,
you to go again.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
These things have been the worst.
What I'm going to do
hunters.
actually is I'm going to hold there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to hold there, and I'm going to shout for everybody. I'm going to shout to come on, run.
Right. Okay. So it is Joe Watson to go.
Yes. I know what Joe. Yeah, Sean, what you said in the chat, I was holding it until I saw the creature.
Yeah.
And I haven't
Never saw the
creature
creature.
yet, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to sneak to the next pillar.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you want me to roll stealth again, or can I just keep my old roll because it was really good?
You can you can keep your old rule for now. If it comes back within sight of you, I might get you to make another one. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just wanting to sneak. Actually, how many? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I've still got loads left. 7, 8, 9. 10. I can make it on the escalator. I'll just sneak onto the escalator.
Just noticed that Adam's no
Wait.
longer on the thing because he got deleted. So I'm just going to add his turn. You keep moving.
18 he had.
18 he had. So
No, it was meant to be me first.
it's all right. We'll do you in a second.
Yeah, I can get right behind you.
Okay, and I will reorganize this descending. And so yeah, that would be I'll
stairs,
just
actually.
move us down to Joe, but Chris, if you want to make your go as well.
Is this as if Marie didn't do a second part?
What?
No, I just held it.
Oh,
I held
okay.
my action anyway.
Right.
If people
I
could
can only
possibly-
move half my speed, can't I?
Yes.
Unless I do it. Can I do a dash with the fireman's leaf?
You can use both of your movements to move, which means you would go half your speed as your minor action and then your full speed as your major action. So that's going to add up to quite a lot in total.
18. Okay, let's.
18 will get you out of here.
I'm gonna have to move just so I can see. Okay, 1 second. I'm 4, 5, 6, 18 would get me out. You sure?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's been mine. Which one is it? The 6. The first 6 is there.
Yeah.
That would get me in line with vision with Lizzie.
Yeah.
So she would see what I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna say I'm like dashing.
And I'll be sort of waving you towards the run.
Okay.
So
And then I'll do the additional 12.
Yeah.
That would get me to the escalator.
Yes. So if you want to get to the escalator, go ahead and do that. Jenny, it's you to go.
That's the stairs. Yeah.
Right.
I'm moving you one up
obviously
because the
everybody's
escalators are just
heading
moving you
now,
up.
so-
Yeah.
I will check my phone again.
Okay.
See if
Just
I've
give
heard
me a
anything.
second to check. Yes, you've got a text message back.
I do want to check.
Okay, well that will be
Okay.
your action for the round then. You're checking the phone. You've got a message. They don't know what's going on. They're just they're saying, "Have you seen the sky? It's beautiful. Must be the Northern Lights or something." But I thought they were green. And you're like,
Right.
"Fuck's sake! Here I am running for my life, and they're all standing in the garden having a look at the sky." Although, having been told that, like, you're trying to think, well, what's happening up there then? If they think it's the Northern Lights, but it's the wrong colour because they haven't mentioned that it's currently purple. So. That was your major action because you've got to take the phone out, check the thing. You've still got a minor action if you'd like to do something else.
I guess I could. Can I use? It's minor to move, isn't it? So.
Yes.
Sorry,
I should have moved.
I'll just move up here and join Thomas, Sean's character.
Right, you are. So you make it out onto the street as well. Can I have a fear test from you, please? So that's willpower. If you have a focus, you can argue your point for being able to use it, but I don't think you have an appropriate focus, if I remember rightly. 16, you're actually okay. You look up and go. It never occurs to you that the Aurora Borealis is not purple. So you just look up at it and go, more important things to worry about right now. Rab comes round the corner. He's like strutting. He's doing that sort of sideways strut as he comes round the corner. He's like, "Way, man, they all ran away from me." Apparently he's moved to Sunderland. From the accent I've just done was a Sunderland accent. I've forgotten he's actually Glaswegian. And I can't do that accent. So he comes round the corner kind of strutting.
Yeah. Let me do it.
Go on.
Yeah,
go
Let
ahead.
me do it for you. Where you just ran away and fucking left me. I fucked a lot of you.
That's pretty much what he does, yes. At which point the creature comes hurtling round the corner and attacks the pair of you. It comes thrashing up the corridor at very high speed. Its tentacles kind of thrashing along the ground and thunders into you. Wang. From there, it'll attack Lizzie first.
Wang.
Yes. Where's my...
I'll just scream at Rab for one.
Okay, so it's going to make a tentacle attack and can't aim because it moved. So just a standard attack. And it has scored 15. That's a hit. Same roll as it got last time. The damage is the same as well. You'll be fine. No, this time it's whacked you for a 5. There's impact damage and
I'm
it's
taking
wounding.
2.
So it's like thwacked you in the side. You're like, this time it hurts. You feel something in your side give slightly. You don't think it's broken any bones, but you think you're going to have a really nasty bruise there tomorrow. On the other hand, you also think to yourself, this thing's not as tough as it looks. I am now going to add Rab to the what's name? So add turn, and I'm going to put him in at, well, yeah, I'm going to put him in, hold on. Just put him in at 7 for the time being. So he's kind of like, how dare you smack my, except obviously, you do it, you say it, you're better. Just bear in mind you're his hero because you do that parquet thing.
Don't fucking hit more laugh.
You do that parquet thing that he likes so much.
Me? What? No.
So he rushes in with the knife, the flick knife he's got, and attempts to stab it. So, if I get Mark's character killed here, that's his fault for going to sleep during the game.
Fuck's sake.
Yep.
Okay, so knife attack.
For a weapon. Fuck's sake.
11. I think you might have missed it. Let me just have a look. Man of War, defense. He's hit it. He's actually hit it.
Alright.
So he stabbed it with a knife. Knife crime in Newcastle, terrible. The Glaswegian on alien knife crime is currently the highest it's ever been. 5 points of damage he's done to it. So let's just see.
You better watch.
So its toughness absorbs 1. Its armor absorbs 1. So that's 3 points of damage has gone through.
Human is actually tougher than that thing.
Nobody said they were tough. So he stabbed it.
They were murdering everyone. I thought these were like
alien and scary.
Yeah, they are actually slightly tougher than humans. These are one of the weakest creatures you're liable to encounter. They are actually tougher than the average human 1-to-1. But Rab's just gone, how man? Stabbed it. And the creature's like leaking this sort of yellowy green ooze. It kind of ignores the wound, but yeah, so that's happened. So Sean's now upstairs.
Ryan,
yes?
before we go into the next... Stop!
I've stopped. What?
I had a held action.
Right, okay, go ahead.
I had a held action.
Yes,
so
we'll go ahead and use it
What I'm going to do is, I am going to attempt to use my athletics. We've got such a big delay.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to kick it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to run up and kick it, and then vault backwards and run.
So show off. You're going to attempt to show off. Go for it. Make a brawling attack.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was using athletics to do this.
Okay,
And
well.
I'll use the brawling.
Yeah. Okay, that's a hit with 4 points of stun. Okay, so you rush in, kick the thing as you kind of half run up it. You kick it under what you estimate is probably sort of kind of its jaw. Roll the damage for an unarmed strike, which is D3 plus 1 plus your strength. Then decide what you're doing with your full stun points as well. You actually have enough there to make that a...
Not thrown.
I'm going to use...
Feel like jelly.
Can I use Vicious Blow twice?
No, you can only use it once.
Ooh.
But you can use it once.
Right. Okay, I'm going to use Vicious Blow and Knock Prone.
Ah, nice one. Okay, roll the extra damage for me first, and then I'll add a knock prone effect to the... Hello?
Oh, maximum.
We don't seem to have all of our... Okay. We don't seem to have all of our little tokens enacted, so I'm going to use the wrong thing for now, but that'll show that it's prone, and I'll make sure they're loaded in properly for next time. Good God, did you just do an extra 6 damage? Okay, so you've done 9 points of damage kicking this thing. It
Yes.
ignores, I think it ignores one for its toughness and one for its armor. So
Okay.
that's still 7 points gets through.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so that's another 7 points of damage it's taken. That's -7. Your foot hits it with quite an amount of force. The entire top half of it snaps backwards. Almost as if you just kicked somebody under the jaw and the head had snapped backwards. It staggers back, it flaps to the ground, its tentacles thrashing about. It actually appears to be in quite a bit of distress. Chris, what would you like to do?
I'd be upset if it didn't try and kill us.
Okay.
Fuck you, you wee tentacly bastard! Fuck you!
It seems that Lizzie has this sort of dealt with, so I'm gonna we're gonna continue up the stairs with my friend,
Okay.
my driver friend.
Okay, so you
I
get...
will keep an eye. I'll keep an ear out if Lizzie needs assistance. But
you
for
get
now,
to the
we'll
top
go
with
to
the
top.
driver and start looking for an ambulance. You notice that there's sirens all over the place, and what have you. And you're yeah, go ahead.
That's for major action. Can I make a minor?
Yes. What would you like
Can I
me to
call
do?
someone?
Yes, you can call somebody.
Phone a friend, 50-50? Or...
Phone a friend, 50-50. You start dialing, try to get through to somebody, and remind me when it gets back round to your action to see if you manage to get through.
Shall I tell you who I'm attempting to contact?
You can if you want to, yeah. Marie, was that a held action you just did there? Marie?
Sorry?
Yep.
It was, right, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a held action.
Right.
Can I?
That was my held
I'll let you know
action.
next time.
Yeah, just let us know next time. Okay, so it's now your main action.
Am I rolling to the sky?
Oh, sorry, yes, you are, Chris. Go ahead, make a fear test for me. That's willpower. And self-discipline, I think. You failed. Add a point of fear. Okay, so, Marie, it's Lizzie to go. What would you like to do?
I'm going to say to Rab, should we kick its head in?
Right, you answer because you know he's going to say yes. So would you like to answer in the correct accent for me, please?
Actually, what he's more going to say, more like what he's going to say is, yes!
Okay,
The old
go
dog
ahead.
violence.
Yep.
And our OBS is
And,
disconnected.
you know, then we'll do the typical Ned thing of
Okay, go for it. Go
run
for
away.
it quickly before OBS decides to disconnect again. So you tell him to, should we kick
I
its head
haven't
in?
managed to connect.
He agrees. You've failed, did you? Yeah, you've missed it this time, even with the +1 you get for having
Yeah.
knocked it prone. It is Joe Watson to go, so you're up on the surface, aren't you? Oh, no, you're down here.
Not yet.
No, I'm down on the
Right.
stairs.
So you can
Yeah, you
see
moved
these
me
two
up on the stage,
Glaswegians
but
have got
I'm
this
back.
creature on the ground and are actually kicking the hell out of it. It's kind of thrashing around while they kick it to death on the floor.
No,
What would you like to do?
I just kind of look and be like, Jesus Christ, the savage animals. Poor alien. And then just continue up the stairs.
Okay, you make it out.
And I would get up. I was going to say I would get up here, assess the situation, and look for a nice hiding spot.
Right, okay. Make a willpower test, please, for the purple sky.
I'm going to fail all of these.
You
But that's Phil,
have
isn't it?
just passed that one. Okay. So you're all right, and it is.
Should have put my willpower higher, honestly.
It's
my
Erin
own
to go.
fault.
You notice everybody else has kind of made it out, and they're all clustering at the top of the at Haymarket, just outside
Bryan,
the.
you're breaking up.
Yeah, Brian, I didn't understand.
Right. Okay. Not a great deal I can do about that. How's that? You hearing us now?
It's broke up
Yeah.
completely.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't speak there. Can you hear me now? Okay, for fuck's sake. Maybe one of those days, is it? So, who did I say it was? What is Erin going to do? For the tape, there we go, I'll speak it. Fuck's sake, send. There we go. Question mark. It seems that it's kicked Marie out as well, so it does seem to be our router is giving us a bit of grief today. Okay. So that would be the Manowar. Tell me when you can start to hear me again, would you? Okay, so that would be the Manowar to try and get up next. So the Manowar is going to stand. Let me just take a token off that. Manowar. Fuck's sake, this is a nightmare tonight. So that does appear to be us completely disconnected now. And we do seem to be back temporarily. We'll see how long that lasts. Do seem to be having a few technical issues with the router today. So the Manowar's back on its feet. It's going to attempt to attack probably Lizzie for all the good that's done it so far. And now the dice roller's not working either. Okay. No, there we go. It's rolling. It's rolling very, very slowly. That's 15. That's a hit. That's the third time in a row attacking Lizzie. It's scored 15. Okay, so Lizzie is hit for 7 damage by the man or war as it gets back to its feet in inverted commas. And with that done, it is Rab to go next. So Rab's going to attempt to chib it again. I'm aware that you're only hearing me at the moment. I've just realised I might not be in the call anymore, and that could be the problem. Yes, it is. Right, okay. Let me just close that and see if I can get back into the call on here so that everybody else can hear what's going on. Yeah, try to join the chat. It's not really doing it for me. Let me in. Let me in. Hello, I'm back, I think. Am I back? Yes.
I do love how Rab's first instinct was just to stab the giant alien.
It was. And it's Rab's go to stab the giant alien again. Lizzie has taken 7 points of damage. The creature's back on its paws, back on its feet. And has...
He's got a sledgehammer, though. Why would he use the knife?
Oh, is it Rab that took the sledgehammer? All right. Right then, hit it with a sledgehammer.
Oh, nice.
He's definitely hit it.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, that's a hit. Roll the
Cracking
damage.
shot.
Yeah. So he stabbed it the first time to distract it, and now he's killed
Now
it with a
he's-
sledgehammer. How exactly would Rab like to do this?
He wants to rage.
Yeah.
Splat.
The raggy bastard.
So is that actually Mark that's handling Rab now, is it?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Much as I hate to live down to the stereotypes of my city, we have indeed kicked its fucking head in.
You have, yeah. So it's on his first
Well,
attempt.
it was.
Mhm.
Yeah. If at first you don't succeed, try the boot and then the heat.
Yeah, exactly. So on his first attack, he stabbed it because he had the hammer in his other hand, but out of force of habit, he stabbed it. As it went down under Lizzie's kick under the jaw, he suddenly realised he had a whacking great hammer in the other hand. So as it stands back up and smacks Lizzie across the side of the head for the 7 damage that I mentioned, I don't know if you heard or saw, but you took 7 damage. As
I've taken it off.
you're doing that, Rab hoists the hammer above its head, his own head, and whacks the thing right in the centre of where you think its skull must be. Whatever was there just disintegrates under the impact and is splattered up the wall of Haymarket Metro Station. Gone. The thing is very...
Ladies and gentlemen,
very...
welcome to the First Contacts.
I think that was full contact.
Unfortunately, there is dead alien creature all over the side of the Haymarket Metro Station. Metro apologises for the state of... Right, as you do this, you see the 2 more of the creatures appear just where you think it might have been ones that were chasing you earlier. So they're on the lines, you know, you can see along to the left, to the... so the 2 of them come up there, they look round just as you cave one of the creature's skulls in. One of them kind of... in anger, and reaches up, grabbing the cable, the handy cable above it, in order to flip itself onto the platform, unaware of what's going to happen next. So, as it grabs the cable above it, it goes... a massive amount of electricity passes through the creature, and it just pops and explodes across the tracks and the thing. The entire area is just shut down blackness as the power cable fuses. The creature has just obliterated itself. The other one shrieks, and you all run for the surface. And that's where we'll leave it for this evening. Yes. That's where we'll leave it for this evening. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was your first encounter with the creatures of the Otherverse. Men of war, not the most deadly predators of the Otherverse, but deadly enough that on one, had they not run into 2 determined Glaswegians and a sledgehammer. So, with that, thank you very much for joining
Imagine
me.
the damage we could have done if we had actual weapons.
Yes, exactly. We will pick up next week as you try to escape. You're on the surface at Haymarket now. So we'll pick up next week as you try to get to loved ones, get yourselves armed, just deal with whatever's going on. I'll speak to you during the course of the week to find out exactly what the players want to do, and then we'll prep for that. We'll pick it up from there next week. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening to the show, especially if you stayed with us through the technical problems we had towards the end there. We do apologise about that. Hopefully next week that won't be the case. So from us, we're signing off to the audience. Thank you very much. Hope to see you all next week for the second part of Pandora's Age.